All right. Good evening. Still summertime. Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. I am Eddie Fury, your co-host for another season of Thumb Sportsline, radio show on WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM, and streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com. The true host is Mike Gallager, the Sanilac County News sports writer, reporter. How you doing, man?
Eddie, I'm doing great. How are you, buddy?
Fantastic.
I missed you.
You did?
I did. I didn't see you at the fair, so.
I was at the fair.
Well, I know you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, hey, we're getting ready for fall sports, which is basically summer/fall sports.
Yeah, since I'm the true host, I do have to correct you on that.
Okay.
Summer is over, Eddie. It's the fall now. It's time for football.
Okay.
Summer's over.
You're like one of these schools that wants to start school before Labor Day weekend and all this. And,
yeah, I guess so.
I mean, what kind of summer is that for a kid in high school sports? Yeah, I'm starting off already controversially here.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So I'm just like
Eddie with the hot takes right out of the gate.
Yes, and it's quite hot today. Yeah. So I just came off from a mental health break.
Good.
A medical vacation break.
Good.
And this is like the second day back here, but it's great to be back with you again. We talked about this. Are we doing the show? And I guess we talked about it. July 4th, and you just nodded your head. Yes. So yeah.
You could say that, but I didn't find out we were doing Sportsline until yesterday. When,
okay.
Eddie messaged our group chat.
Okay.
But yes, of course we're going to do the show. Yeah.
All right. So the preview issues will be coming out soon in all our publications. We are backed up by the Thumb Sports Writers Association, headed by our president, Paul Adams of the Huron County View. Also, we have the Huron Daily Tribune with Tom Green. We also have Scott Bolsby of the Tuscola County Advertiser, located in Carroll. You with the Sanilac County News. Jason Parmenter with Quadrum Pro Sports, right?
Mm-hmm. Quadrum Productions, yeah.
Quadrum Productions, who takes a lot of fantastic photographs, does a lot of pictures for other publications as well. All right, Christian Selick, who is our unofficial athletic director of the TSA as well. Yep. We also have Ashley Wayner Palmer, who is activities director and promotions.
Okay.
And we have Jonathan Bisher, 1.0, JB 1.0, who's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That will help us out from time to time. Who else am I forgetting? I know we got
Ben Miller.
Ben Miller of Miller Time Sports, who's probably at Benchwarmers right now using the Wi-Fi. You're going to keep him there all night.
He's been working harder than all of us already. I mean, he's been everywhere these first 2 weeks.
And everywhere but vacation. And then and then we also have Chris Wilcox, who also helps out from time to time. So shout out to the TSA. I know that we've had a couple events with the Thumb Sports Writers Association. We had our golf tournament fundraiser over the summer, which was pretty cool.
That was a lot of fun, yep.
At Ubley Heights Golf and Country Club. We are bringing that back once again, so let's get signed up for that. When you see that poster, we also had at the end of June our high school all-star basketball games for the graduated seniors. That was a great event. Great to have it back here in Sandusky.
Yeah, and the boys' game was one of our more tightly contested games. It got a little chippy there at the end. You love to see it. Yeah,
I loved it. So.
Another great event. That was a lot of fun.
So coming up, we have our Thumb Sports Writers Association second Hall of Fame induction coming up here soon.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sandusky, the guy, athletic director, who hosted us, we already announced who's being inducted. So it's a pretty represented group this year.
Yeah, and you might be thinking to yourself, how did Al DeMott not get in on the first ballot? He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough when you got Jim Fish in the thumb as well.
Who's still coaching?
Right
now.
Still winning state championships
for North Branch girls volleyball.
Yeah. Yep. And that event was a lot of fun last year, and should be great this year too.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. All right. So right now, basically, the 2026 high school sports season has started. I know there were still some scrimmages going on, but pretty much you have boys soccer going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling is about to start here soon.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
No.
Equestrian still.
They're going to wait until the winter to start wrestling.
Okay. Was it? And then also, do we have tennis going on at this time? Or do they wait for that?
Yep. The Sandusky tennis team just won the Sandusky Invitational. So
okay. And which golfers are golfing? Is it girls and boys?
Girls golf is in the fall.
Is underway right now. So, and then high school girls volleyball.
Yep.
That is going on. Any other sports I'm missing?
You do have to specify because I saw, I can't remember, I was reading something and they referred to it as high school girls volleyball. And I was like, why do you have to say
because there are boys volleyball
now too. Yeah. So
pretty exciting thing going on today on Tuesday. If you saw it on the internets out there, that Cass City is having an outdoor scrimmage now.
Yeah. I was kind of interested in seeing, heading out to that, but that should be a really cool event.
I know that some of the Thumb Sports Writers Association members are out there right now. So I'm looking forward to those fantastic pictures,
Mm-hmm.
But that's amazing to do an outdoor.
It's a very cool idea. Yeah. Yep.
And there's some volleyball teams in college where we actually have some local area athletes who made it to Division I.
Yeah.
Division II level or any division is a great division to be in, SC4 story program in that league.
Yep.
But yeah, we had that Cass City Ignash girl playing at Texas Tech. Division I.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, fantastic to see these athletes. So also this past season, kind of looking back, boy, we had some state champions in the Thumb area,
Yeah. Yep.
Fall and winter sports, so, and even spring sports as well. So congratulations to all those teams and those even make it to the state semifinals, it's just still quite an accomplishment. So, yeah. All right. So on that level, now we're getting ready for like those sports, but of course, high school football.
Yeah.
That is the basis of this show of high school football. There's some changes here, some new coaches. Leagues have been shuffled, and now we have new division leagues here. We'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking to Scott Bolsby in the 6 o'clock hour as well from the Tuscola County Advertiser. Maybe we'll have some other surprises. This is pretty much like we shrug our shoulders and, well, I don't know. You don't know until week 1.
Well, that's why, this is my favorite show of the year because we don't know. At this point, I am so optimistic about every single team in Sanilac County, and the expectations are high, and I'm just really excited about every team in Sanilac County right now. And, as the season goes along, we're going to learn more about the teams and where they stack up. But at this point, I think all the Sanilac County teams are the best. So,
okay, that's Mike Gallager. That's your hot take of the day.
Yeah.
Today, huh?
Yep.
Not me. I mean,
well, we have a football team in Sanilac County that's already 1-0, Eddie.
Yeah,
and it's the CPS Tigers.
Oh, that's right, because if you did not know, it was announced a couple weeks ago, maybe just before the start of Cheeseburger, not to put anybody down. No. By the way, I went to the Tropical Parade of Fools Wednesday last week. I took my daughter, the first time she ever went out there, and she thought, we're not going to be able to get in, Daddy.
House,
it was fantastic. I didn't even know Paul was there taking pictures. Paul Adams.
Of course, yeah.
But I took my daughter with me, and she goes, oh, Daddy, but it's past 5 o'clock. We're not going to be able to get in. They close. I said, no. Let's see if anybody remembers Eddie Fury.
Okay.
Boom! Got in. Still got in. So it was great. But it was great to see run into some folks there. But it was, great. That's why I say it's still summer out there. So, all right.
Cheeseburger was last week. So
yeah. Okay.
It was summer last week. But
now, and this is the first week of a lot of schools have started school this week too.
Yeah.
As of yesterday and today, Tuesday too. So, all right. So, we got a couple rule changes also, a little bit of differences in the MHSA playoff system, seeding system too. We'll probably touch on that as well. But I'm pretty excited. We already have our games of the week picked out.
Oh, yeah. What you said games of the week. You're going to be doing 2 games this week.
Thursday and Friday.
That's the other beautiful thing about the beginning of football season. You got games on Thursday and Friday.
Hard to believe in Sanilac County right now. We only have 2 11-player football teams, right?
Yeah, yep.
So we have Croswell-Lexington Pioneers and the Sandusky Wolves.
Well, Sanilac County is the birthplace of 8-player football. So,
okay. Well, we got 2 high school 8-player football games. The Brown City Green Devils on Thursday.
Okay.
As they host the Morris Orioles. Playoff caliber team there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Friday, the first historic Marlette varsity high school 8-player football game another powerhouse they are facing against the Mendon Hornets.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're going to ease their way into 8-player football, yeah.
And this is like, I'm kind of curious, because you remember, if you recall, Deckerville's first season 8-player football, they adapted pretty well.
Yeah.
Marlette has this type of offense where it kind of could work here because Coach Danny Lester would switch things back up here, but this is a very, type of offense that he likes to run is geared to a 8-player type of offense.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
So we'll touch on that too. So, but he always sends a great preview to all the sports guys and kind of gives you a little bit of insight what's going on. All right, so this usually for Thumb Sportsline in this half hour. In the future, we'll start. We will always talk about the other sports first. We'll touch on some volleyball matchups and all that. What's going on? That's what Mike will do. Now, you pick up your publications, support your sports writers and newspapers. That is where you're going to get most of your info and results. So, coaches, assistant coaches, send that info in, and they'll get it in the paper or online as well. The backbone, sports coverage. There was a time you used to have 2 or 3 sports writers. Now you're down to 1 at these times. People always want something for free, but no, it's not very much per year. It's only cost me $30-something a year to get your publication.
And I do have to say, ever since I've been working at the Sanilac County News, the coaches have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Reporting stuff, responding to emails, doing interviews. Like, they've made my job very, very easy. So
on our broadcasting side, we may have from time to time, during our weeks of high school football, have 2 games going on.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
because I know you had talked about it.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, we're looking into that. Jeremy Burgess.
I was going to say, I ran into Jeremy a couple times over the summer, and he's going to be doing games full time with you this year, huh?
Yep, he will be back again this year. So
Fantastic.
This is his 3rd season now.
Yeah,
we have been doing games together here, so I'm really happy.
Great
about
addition.
That. Yeah, he works at Nutrient Ag in Brown City if you want to bother him, by the way. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Go ahead and dox your color guy.
Yes. So, go ahead. I'm looking forward to seeing him in Brown City and Marlette, too. So, all right. So, a little bit of preview there. So we're going to try to touch on some teams of what they did last year and looking ahead to this year. Because some of these divisions, like I said, have changed a little bit slightly here. So,
especially the in 8-player, the Big 12 Conference. Yeah.
Might as well say it right now too. Well, we'll save that after our break here too. So, what do we want to talk about when we come back first?
Now I'm kind of curious.
Anything at all? We're going to dive right into this high school football.
No, I just I'm really excited about the season. I've been the past couple weeks I've been getting out and seeing the teams, making it to a couple of scrimmages.
Yeah.
Talking to coaches and.
Have we had games start?
For football
or volleyball?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we have games, but you're still having some scrimmages here and there, right?
Yeah. The Peck volleyball team is scrimmaging today. So yeah, but we have had games,
that are on record now that count towards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
In golf, has that started?
Not yet.
Okay.
That'll be this week.
So the only sport that's officially started has been volleyball.
Cross country.
Cross country too.
The Mike Jackson Invitational was last week in Croswell.
Already, like that.
And the Under the Lights, and I believe it was Bad Axe last week.
Okay.
Cross country. So
cross country has started, volleyball has started, and now it's going to be like a domino effect here this week.
Yeah.
Everything
now that everybody's in school, it's really gonna get going.
All right, and the preview issue.
It is going to be coming out next Wednesday.
Which
doesn't do you a lot of good.
No, you're gonna have to
when the season starts this Thursday. But you'll have all your team pictures, all your previews, all that good stuff.
Okay.
People just want to see their kids in the paper anyway. So
okay. You're gonna just send me an advanced copy or something.
Hey, if I had it,
okay. So next week,
I'm flattered you think I have it done already.
Next week is a preview.
It will be coming out next Wednesday.
That's what happens when you do it in the summer, folks.
We do have some preview-ish things in tomorrow's edition for the football season. So.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back here, and thank you to all our sponsors for Thumb Sportsline. Every Tuesday evening, 5:30 p.m., and we'll have some coach guests. We'll line them up here. We'll try to get
we try and have one every week.
Yep.
Yep.
And also sports writers from the Thumb Sports Writers Association.
Yep.
And also all the broadcasters. There's other radio stations out there that are doing broadcasting of sports. And being that I am the godfather of webcasting here in the Thumb, yes.
Oh, okay.
So. here on Sanilac
That
Broadcasting.
mental health break really did you some good, huh?
Yeah, and also on
you got your confidence back.
another radio broadcast, WLBW Sports. Clark Ramsey out there and his crew. And I believe 92.1 also doing radio broadcasts.
We'll have to talk to Scotty about it, but he's not. I don't think he's doing the broadcast anymore, but they do still have a crew that'll be doing games.
All right. So our thank you to our sponsor for Thumb Sportsline through the season, Thumb Cellular, Liberty Lanes Bowling Alley there in Sandusky here. Graf Chevrolet Sandusky, AVS Broadband. We also have Tri-County Equipment. More Mortars and also Ben's Great Outdoors starting next week. And Kohler Propane. We'll be right back.
Starting next week?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline.
All across the Thumb and Blue Water area, there's one propane supplier that's ready to serve you. It's Kohler Propane, with locations in Brown City, Memphis, and Bad Axe. Kohler Propane, where they strive to keep your fuel bill down and provide you with the best possible service. They guarantee their propane prices for 1 full year. There's free tank inspection and free safety inspection, plus keep full and budget plans are available. If you are not a current Kohler customer, now's the time to make the switch and call Kohler's. Whether it's propane for your home's heating system or for your farm or business, they're ready to serve you. Remember, Kohler's covers the entire Thumb and Blue Water area. For information, call toll-free 800-572-2191. That's 800-572-2191. Or visit getkohlers.com. Remember, nobody gives you gas like Kohler's. If there's one sport that people of all ages can participate in, it's bowling. And Liberty Lanes in Sandusky, the Thumb's premier bowling center, has openings for leagues that will be starting after Labor Day. There are openings in men's, women's, and mixed leagues day and evening. For information, stop at Liberty Lanes or call 648-9860. Whether it's a light lunch or a complete meal, be sure to dine at Liberty Lanes, where there's a complete beverage cart. Now is also the perfect time to make reservations for your holiday parties at Liberty Lanes, West Park, Sandusky.
You know, a lot has changed over the past 3 decades when it comes to technology. Thankfully, those dial-up memories are long behind us. But one thing hasn't changed. AVS Broadband has been more than an internet provider. They've been a local technology partner proudly serving the Thumb community since 1996. With the help of the AVS tech team, AVS Broadband is able to provide peace of mind when it comes to managing your internet connection and everything connected to your Wi-Fi. We've grown right alongside our communities, helping you work, learn, stream, game, and stay connected. Whether you need help setting up new devices, improving your Wi-Fi, or solving those everyday tech headaches, you can count on the local experts who are just a phone call or a quick visit away. As technology continues to evolve, so do we, continually investing in new technology, expanding our network, and making sure you have the best possible connected experience. If you're not yet an AVS customer, let's change that. Visit avsbroadband.com or call 888-282-4932 to experience the local difference. AVS Broadband, your local technology partner for 30 years.
Join the AVS Tech team for a cybersecurity class for seniors on Wednesday, September 2nd, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Sandusky Community Fire Hall.
Graf is more than a car dealership. We're part of the community. With 15 locations and 13 exciting brands. Wherever you call home, we're here for you. At Graf Chevrolet of Sandusky, our local people, service, and commitment help deliver great Graf deals like these.
Drive off a new Chevy Silverado for $189 a month, a new Chevy Trailblazer for $192 a month, or get a 2027 Chevy Equinox for $296 a month.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for complete details.
The Graf family of dealerships, proud to serve you one community at a time. When you buy a Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicle from Graf Chevrolet in Sandusky, you get peace of mind. We don't buy all our inventory from auctions, we buy from our customers. Most of our inventory are one-owner vehicles. Car Bravo vehicles must pass a multi-point vehicle inspection done by GM certified technicians. Every Car Bravo purchase includes a 6-month, 6,000-mile limited bumper-to-bumper GM-backed warranty and many other buying benefits. Get more with Car Bravo at Graf Chevrolet on M46 in Sandusky.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline. Week 1, about to start. High school football, our principal coverage of this sports show. I am Eddie Fury. That's Mike Gallager. Week 1 games. This Thursday, it is the Morris Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils under a new head coach, under Robert Hatton, who was there helping out on defense, right? So
yeah, he's been an assistant coach with the program. He's also coached pretty much every single varsity sport that Brown City offers. He's obviously the boys basketball coach, track coach.
Wow.
He coached the golf team one
man.
year.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean he's
fully ingrained in the Brown City athletic system.
Yeah. I mean what a great hire that was for Brown City.
Yeah, great. Just a good coach, good guy.
Yeah.
In the course of Friday evening at Marlette hosting the Menden Hornets. Boy, what a start for both those teams. Yeah. Brown City, we'll see what they'll be able to do this year. Marlette, I wanted to confirm this with you. Do they make the playoffs this year or not? Are they too big of a...
That's a good question.
I'm just kind of
I
curious.
believe they're playoff eligible, yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably wrong.
Okay, because I just wondered about that. And also Brown City are still, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because there was a year where they weren't, and then now they're back.
Yep.
Okay.
It was just 1 year. Well, yeah. Yep.
Right. All right. So taking a look at...
Marlette's at 190, so they're eligible, yes. They've been eligible for the past couple seasons, actually.
Okay, so I was just curious. And, it is a tough move to sometimes, hang on as long as they can. And there's other schools that are probably even smaller right now that are hanging on the limb, as we'll probably go to this 6 o'clock on this topic. But, we were wondering, we had a feeling that there might be another team. And this was a little bit of a mini shocker, for us possibly here that Marlette decided to drop to 8-player football.
Yeah, I guess, we hadn't really heard, a lot of rumblings about it before it happened.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think it was the right decision. They've been playing 8-player football at the JV level for a few years now.
Sandusky has too,
Yep.
JV level too. So,
and, it was a tough season for Marlette last year. And that's not like the ultimate reason you make that decision. Just because you have a bad season, you don't go, 8-player football. But, it was a tough spot for the program, and I think it was the right decision. Now, scheduling Menden right off the bat.
Yeah.
No, I think that's going to be a lot of fun because, the people of Marlette are going to be introduced to 8-player football in one of the best ways possible with, one of the top programs in the state. And, we'll get into Marlette a little bit more later in the show, but, what if you get a win week 1? I mean, how huge would that be for the program and, for the town and, to be able to make a statement like that week 1. So I'm really high on Marlette right now. I had the opportunity to see them at the scrimmage in Deckerville last week, and they're really impressive.
Yeah, they are geared for this type of play.
Now, when I told Coach Lester that, hey, you guys looked pretty good at that scrimmage, I got no response. So he's not hyping the team up too much. It's kind of a wait and see type of thing. But there's a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of size.
They had that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of those players were young, and now they got that year in.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So, so Brown City and Marlette are in that same division. They're in that Big Thumb 8-player Conference Blue division.
It's gonna take me a while to get those.
Yeah. So you have Bad Axe, Brown City, Burton Bentley, K-Pac Chiefs. They pulled out that upset against Deckerville last year in the regular season.
And Brown
they
City.
Beat Brown City
Yeah.
in the playoffs too. We covered that game. And then you had the Marlette Red Raiders and the Memphis Yellow Jackets in this division. And plus, we also have the return of the Pink Out clash football game between Brown City and Marlette in week 4.
You mentioned that
in week 4.
When Brown City went to 8-player football, I think that was the right decision at the time as well, because they were kind of struggling with numbers. They had a lot of younger players in positions that they shouldn't have been. At that point, it becomes a safety thing. So it was the right decision. And then obviously all the success that they had right off the bat. But that was one of the things where I was like, man, I'm really going to miss the Pink Out game.
Yeah.
Because that was such a great fundraiser. It was such a great night. And it was just a great thing for both communities. And I'm so glad they're bringing that back. And, they did some Pink Out games in the past couple of years with volleyball and softball and stuff like that. But it's a huge thing and for a great cause.
So that Pink Out for Cancer Clash football game returns. It'll be Brown City Green Devils up against the Marlette Red Raiders. It will be on September 18th. And there'll be the tailgate meal before that and fundraising from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Usually you have that pulled pork sandwich meal there for the fundraiser. Admission $5 per person or free with a purchase of a T-shirt with that. I just found a couple old Pink Out Class T-shirts too. When I was going through my lawnmower wearing shirts, and I go, oh wow, I got a couple of these here. Yep. So kickoff at 7 p.m. We will likely be covering that game just because Aspire Rural Health System has taken over the fundraising efforts for this through the backbone of Kohler Propane, who started this.
Right. Well, and it's it's a game where show up early because there's a lot of stuff going on before the game. There's the tailgate, and it's just a really great thing. I have not heard. I'm going to assume probably not because I think the Trevi's and Marlette is under new ownership. But you remember it was the Trevi's Bowl as well?
Yeah, it was a trophy for it.
Yeah, there was a trophy for it. I'm going to petition to bring back the Trevi's Bowl trophy. I don't know who's got that or who won the last one, but that'd be kind of cool to bring that back as well.
Yeah, they got some great prizes from Kohler Propane still involved with this Pink Out for Cancer Clash football game. So Kohler Propane will have some raffles there. I mean, they got some really cool Milwaukee tools, Zender Splash Village, and also a Nebo jump starter and air compressor that you may need when you're on the road out there traveling from game to game. So, yeah. All right.
What I need is just a new car, new vehicle.
And unfortunately, we did lose a team weeks before the season started. The Caseville Eagles canceled their season.
Yeah, I wish we were going to be able to have Paul on because that's kind of a not weird situation, but they're going to be playing this year.
Okay,
but it's going to be a hybrid schedule. They're going to be playing JV. They're going to be playing 6-player, and then they're going to maybe try and come back to varsity later in the season.
Because Owen Gage, do they have a...
Owen Gage is playing 6-player.
6-player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, which I'd like to talk to Paul about that as well, because that's one thing we don't have in Sanilac County yet is 6-player football.
All right, it is Thumb Sportsline. Week 1 starts our preview here and our takes on high school football for the 2026 season here in the Thumb area. Keeping track of all the Blue Water Area Conference teams, the Big Thumb Conference teams, which is blue, red, white, gold, and black.
Not bad.
I got them all. How about that?
There you go. Now tell me which teams are in each one.
Well, you got some copycat sportscasters out there. They have yet to figure it out until listen to us. So
Eddie, we can't be throwing stones because we don't know the teams quite yet either.
Okay, pull the knife out. Okay, we'll be right back. 6 o'clock hour.
You're on the Thumb's information station, 660 WMIC AM Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
Are you or a loved one traveling to Port Huron for medical treatment? Hunter Hospitality House is here to help, providing free, comfortable lodging for patients and their families, just steps from both Port Huron hospitals. There are no fees, no income qualifications, and no red tape. Their 3 welcoming homes offer comfort, rest, and support when you need it most. To learn more, call 810-824-3679 or visit hunterhospitalityhouse.com. Hunter Hospitality House in Port Huron, a place to rest and find hope.
I'm Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion with your Detroit Red Wings, and you're listening to your host of Sportsline, WMIC. Listen, or I will beat you to a pulp. Well, not really.
All right, welcome back to Thumb Sportsline, 6 o'clock hour. This show ends when we want it to on WMIC.
Not
AM,
when other people want it to.
on WMIC AM.
We won't be silenced.
On WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM, and streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com. Our games of the week, Thursday, couple days already away. It is the Morris Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils. Myself and Jeremy Burgess covering that game. Then on Friday as well, we'll have the Minden Hornets at the Marlette Red Raiders. Both pregame start at 6:30 p.m., kickoff at 7 p.m. at those respected fields. Tune in to WBGV 92.5 FM and streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com, then later in podcast form. Here on Thumb Sportsline, the official sports show of the Thumb now, right?
I don't know who has the power to decide that, but I guess are we official? I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
We're here. How about that?
All right. So, before we go any further here, some bad news to report here. A shout out to the family of Mark Birdsall. He worked at the Huron Daily Tribune. He had passed away over the weekend, sadly. From what I read, reports was he had some type of illness, and he did cover sports at one time. He did work with Paul Adams at one point. He's been there for quite some time.
He actually he was hired after Paul left.
After Paul, okay.
Yep.
So the transition happened there, and he had also transitioned from sports over to the news and court system there at the Huron Daily Tribune. So he still covered a lot of sports. So a salute of the hat to the family and prayers to them. That was kind of shocking news that came out of on Monday.
He started as a sports writer at the Tribune, and slowly, well, not even slowly. I mean, pretty quickly worked his way up to be the assistant editor. Unfortunately, I didn't know Mark. I didn't get to know him. I had already left the Tribune by the time he was there, but just seeing all the stuff on Facebook, all the people posting about him and what he meant to them and what he meant to the community, you could tell that he was a really special guy. So,
and on top of that, Dolly Parton today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, okay.
We'll have a great slate of music tomorrow morning here on WMIC with Dolly Parton with Sean Cantwell. So we got that lined up.
Awesome.
All right. So, we move on. High school football. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. Of course, we try to make our predictions here and there, but nobody really knows.
At the end of the show, we're going to be doing our picks, of course.
Okay.
But we're also going to be picking our conference champions.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-league games. There's a slew of games. You'll see a lot of scores. I'll have that posted by tomorrow.
Okay.
For everybody to see the full list of games.
Perfect.
So, I'm doing everybody else's homework. So,
Eddie, I think by this point everybody knows what the games are, and I do appreciate you posting them. But
there's a lot of them though. Blue Water Area Conference. The news on this one is Algonac is no longer in the Blue Water Area Conference.
Correct. Yeah.
Macomb Lutheran North is.
Yes.
We will be seeing Macomb Lutheran North at Croswell Lexington next week for one of our games of the week. So next week in week 2.
Yeah.
So. Croswell, it's, Alma, Armada, Croswell, Lexington, Emily City, Macomb Lutheran North now, North Branch Broncos, Richmond Blue Devils, and the Yale Bulldogs in the Blue Area Conference. Croswell, Lexington also has some changes at the offensive side underneath quarterback. Their previous quarterback who was a freshman or a sophomore last year?
He was a sophomore last year, yep.
Is no longer at Croswell-Lexington. He's now in the Port Huron area.
Yes, yep. That's been one of the big stories of the offseason.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk about Jax Johnson, and he was a special player. He was really a lot of fun to watch. I wish him well at Port Huron. I think he's going to do great things there. He's got, the talent to be a college football player. But Croslex is going to be okay. It's not the end of the world, Eddie. I know you're freaking out about it because they don't have Jax Johnson anymore.
It was a tough start to the season last year. They started off, with 3 straight losses, then had a win over North Branch, then a loss to Almont, who ended up being one of the top teams as well. Been 3 straight wins at the near the end of the season over Algonac, Emily City, and Yale. Then had the loss of West Branch, Ogama Heights. So kind of like, disappointing to the season with just 4 wins last year. This year they opened up the season with Petoskey, then their new league rival against Macomb Lutheran North, followed by Emily City, Richmond, Armada, Yale, North Branch, Alma. What a gauntlet there, along with Gaylord.
Yeah, and this is going to be a theme for the show tonight, Eddie.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams in Sanilac County have some brutal schedules.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at a team like Croslex, where once you get into conference play, every single game is a tough game. Especially with Algonac now being out of the conference. No disrespect to Algonac or anything, but that was one that you could chalk up, as a win. Imlay City, they're not really that pushover anymore. So you can't really just breeze past Imlay City. And then of course you got the powerhouses at the top. And then, for Croslex, those 2 non-conference games, and the week 1 game against Petoskey is going to be played in Clare. So that's not too bad. But those are both road games. So that's going to be tough. But I think this Croslex team is going to look completely different from last season. Because obviously you talk about the loss of Jax Johnson, but you have the graduation of Shane Slanick, who was one of the best receivers in the state. I think it's fair to say. He had over 1,000 yards receiving, which is incredible at the high school level. But it wasn't just those 2. You think about Jack Fagan leading that defense. He was incredible. Braylon Davis, as the season went along, got more and more valuable for Croslex because, and Coach Holes has said this, they realized we need to get him the ball more. And they did it in a variety of ways. He'd play receiver, he'd play running back, but he was also a great defensive player. So things are going to be different. You're not going to see them throwing the ball around quite like they did last year. But I think that's a good thing for Croslex. And, I'm the optimistic guy and everything at the beginning of the season. But 2 years ago, in Mike Hull's first season as head coach at Croslex, Jax Johnson was a freshman, and he was really impressive as a freshman. But the success that team had was built on the run game. It was built on the Herman brothers and power football. And I think Croslex is going to be going back to that. I think they're going to be built on the run game. And they're going to have a variety of different guys that are going to be in the backfield this year.
And having that powerhouse, if you have the 2-back system in the backfield too, that's going to open the pass game a little bit. If they can do that a little bit more creatively with that play action pass, what we've seen big plays, what you usually see here in the BWAC.
Right, right.
Unless you're Almont. But Almont does it. They will pass when they open it up the field. So, yeah.
Right. But, with the power run game, you're going to have more control over a game. You're going to be able to run the clock. You're going to be able to, do a lot of different things. But since Coach Holes took over at Croslex, I think it's been extremely evident that Croslex is a very physical football team, especially defensively. And I expect that to continue. And if you can continue to do that, then you're going to have a chance at winning games in the BWAC. But it will be a different Croslex team. But I think they're still going to find success this year. It sounds like Xander Marshall's going to be taking over the quarterback position. And
is he a senior?
I believe he is a senior.
Okay.
And he's not going to be expected to pass the ball 20, 25 times a game. But I think, and maybe they won't find that success right away as they kind of shift philosophies. But I think in the long term, it's going to be a good thing for the program. But yeah, I mean, right off the bat, Petoskey's a pretty good team. They have a great quarterback, and they're going to find out, right away.
All right, and it's great to have that 12 player factor to Croswell Lexington, especially on the home field. I'm talking about not the crowd. I'm talking about the sugar and pickle factories.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering where you were going with that. Yeah.
By the way, they sell pickles there at games, so yeah. Get there early before they sell out. Now, elsewhere in the BWAC, it was the Almont Raiders who ran the table there all the way up until the semifinals, where they lost to Jackson Lumen Christi in 3 overtimes. Harper Lake lost there last year. But, man, they ran that table. They started out the season beating the MAC Conference over Marysville. The big showdown against Armada was there, but Almont took care of that 35-14. They also defeated Croswell Lexington. We covered that game last year, 38-13 for Almont. And just another sensational year for Almont, and they just continue to reload and rebuild. And it's such a great football program that they got going out there with James Lusby, since he's been the head coach there. Great success with his team. It's a playoff caliber team since he's taken over, and I don't think they've not made the playoffs since he's been coaching there. Last year, they were first place, BWAC champions. Richmond at 6-1. Armada was 5-2. Croswell Lexington 4-3, and Yale was at 3-4. 2-5 was North Branch in league play, and Emily City 1-6, and Algonac, who's no longer in the BWAC, at 0-7. Overall record, Almont, that one loss in the state semifinals at Jackson Lumen Christi, 12-1 overall. Richmond 9-2, and Armada 6-4. People were thinking about big things here, but surprisingly, they just lost some tough games there. They lost to Richmond, close one there, 24-17, to Almont, 35-14. And, we found out later what Almont was the real deal for that season. Took on some competition against Frankenmuth at the end of the season, 42-14. They did make the playoffs, and Armada loses a close one to Richmond, 14-10. Yale Bulldogs, they're still under the same head coach, is back again, right?
Of course, yeah, Garrett Grunman.
He is back. They finished at 5-5. They made it to the playoffs, but they ended up going up against Frankenmuth in the first round, 56-0.
That's a tough draw, yeah.
But the way they finished the season, the last 4 games, they had to win at least 3 out of those 4, and they did that. The lone loss was to Croswell Lexington, and they were actually in that game where they lost 38-17 in the regular season. But, great win for them at the end of the season to beat Flint Powers Catholic 48-21 to get them into that playoff. So congratulations to Yale Bulldogs. What do you think? Do you see maybe a little bit more advances in this, or are they losing too many players? Or, well, I know we kind of keep an eye on them.
They last season they had a new quarterback step in during the season actually, and it sounds like he's going to be handling things this year as well. I think Garrett Grumman's a really good coach.
He was at Croswell Lexington at one point.
Yeah. And I think he's been building something at Yale.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it on the show before. When you talk about an Emily City, or you talk about Algonac, or even Yale, when Grumman first started there, it's hard to find your footing in the BWAC. It's hard to climb up into the top of the standings, So it's been a process, but we've seen them win some pretty big BWAC games over the years. But yeah, Austin Rhodes took over as quarterback last season as a freshman, and that's you got to have a quarterback if you're going to be if Yale's going to have any success with Grunman's offense. So yeah, I think they're going to be a better team this year. The helmet trophy, I think it stays in Croswell.
Okay.
That's just me. I don't know. Right. Since I've started at the Sanilac County News, Croslex has held on to the helmet trophy every single season. And I know, Coach Grumman probably doesn't make a big deal out of it, but it's probably a pretty big deal to him to try and get that. So Croslex is going to get its best shot from Yale. So that's obviously a big game, but I think making the playoffs last season was huge for Yale.
Yes, it was. It's a nice little boost for the team
absolutely.
to look forward to.
You get that buy-in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think their program headed in the right direction. I had read, it must have been in the Expositor. This is going to be their last season at Yale Park. It's kind of
that's a classic spot.
Sad.
There.
We're going to have to get out to a game over. I don't know if Croslex is in Yale this year, but
right next to that creek there. So
it's a
river.
It's I don't want to say a magical place. It's an interesting place to go watch a football game.
It is. It's special.
It feels like you're kind of going back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot of respect for Coach Grumman, and I expect Rhodes to take another step up at quarterback. But again, in the BWAC, it's really tough to get up in the conversations with an Almont or an Armada.
Yeah. And at one point, it was quite tight in the BWAC race. Almont finished 7-0 in league play. Richmond 6-1. Their lone loss to Almont. Mm-hmm. Armada 5-2. The other two losses were non-league losses out there. So,
when you look at Almont's schedule last season, in BWAC play, there wasn't really a close game except for the Yale game. You could argue that one was it was kind of a close game. But the fact Almont has won 24 straight BWAC games. They've gone undefeated in BWAC play the last 3 seasons, going 7-0. And it's not like the BWAC hasn't been it's not like it's a team taking advantage of a bad conference. No, there's been some great football teams in the BWAC the past 3 seasons, including like Richmond was a very good team last year.
2-loss team.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to say, Almont's going to win the BWAC again. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah. So Almont, 9-2 overall last year. And they lost in the playoffs. Again, Frankenmuth creeps up there. So
that's who Richmond lost to?
Yeah, that's who Richmond lost to. So, they just pop up there.
Well, and looking at Richmond, they are going to be bringing back Dominic Bonetti at the quarterback position.
And he was very skilled because this is like he's in his red shirt.
He was
senior season.
He was very impressive last season. His top receiver, J.J. Hollister, is gone to graduation, so that's going to be tough. But when you look at Richmond, I think they're going to be okay offensively when you have a guy like Dominic Bonetti. Defensively, they are losing some big guys. Logan Evans, first team all conference. Brody Meyer, first team all conference. And then Gage Towner at the linebacker position. He was the defensive MVP in the BWAC. Which if you are winning MVP awards in the BWAC, you are a very, very, very good football player. So Richmond is going to have to, replace some big pieces, but you have Bonetti coming back at quarterback. So, you have to feel pretty good about Richmond going into the season as well.
Okay. And Macomb Lutheran North coming into this BWAC league. They had pretty good season last year. Overall, Macomb Lutheran North, they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight wins and then 3 straight losses, including into the playoffs, losing to Harper Woods 45-16. So they started off hot last year, and they were in the Catholic High School League Intersectional #1. Now they are in the Blue Water Area Conference. So we welcome them in, see what that competition can elevate the other teams in the BWAC. All right.
We welcome them. We welcome them in, but we look forward to Croslex beating them in week 2.
Right. And we hope the other teams improve here. I mean, North Branch, let's talk about North Branch. They're under a new head coach now, too. Aren't they? Yes.
I'm not 100%.
There's a new athletic director
there you go.
Yeah, there's a new athletic director.
I was going to say, I think Socorro is still the head coach at North Branch. Yeah.
So, last year, North Branch overall 2-5 in league play, 2-7. So it was not a great year. Their wins were over Algonac and Emily City. And it just, they just had problems last year, and hopefully they can improve upon that this season. Last year, you were right, Chris Sikora was the head coach. They do have a new athletic director who I actually love that athletic director. It was very accommodating there at North Branch. But Sikora is back this year. You're right.
Okay.
All right. So the league schedule for week 1, Croswell Lexington at Petoskey. That takes place at Clare High School. That's a Thursday. Almont is at Marysville. Another rematch there last year. That was a close game. Gaylord at North Branch on Thursday. St. Clair Shores Lakeview at Armada on Thursday. Yale at Schwartz Creek on Thursday. Emily City at Flint Powers Catholic. Marin City at Richmond. There's another big one there. That's a Friday night if you want to make it out to our Friday night game. And also we have Macomb Lutheran North at Madison Heights Madison in BWAC play. There you go, BWAC. And we'll have more to talk when those stats come in next week.
Yeah, before we close the book on the BWAC, I just want to mention a couple of Croslex players to look out for this season. Obviously, Xander Marshall at the quarterback position. He's going to be a good kid to be directing that offense. But Coach Holes pointed to Wyatt Frey. He's going to be in the backfield. He's going to be taking a step up this season. He played the receiver position last year. He's going to be more of a running back this season. Offensively, on the offensive line, Easton Galbraith, he's going to be big for Croslex as they go back to that more run-oriented offense. He was all-conference offensive lineman last season at the center position, so he's going to be very important for the offense this season. Ethan Jackson is going to be back to help lead the defense. He received all-thumb recognition last year. He was 3rd on the team in tackles last year with 63. And then Logan Burns, he was all-conference as well on the defensive line for Croslex. So there's a lot of good pieces there for Croslex. It's going to be interesting to see who emerges as the big offensive playmakers for Croslex, because it doesn't really sound like they're going to have that one go-to guy where last season, you could go to Sanilac, and they really tried to get the ball to Braylon Davis. I think this season it's going to be a variety of different guys. But we may see someone emerge as the go-to guy for Croslex. I'm excited for the Pioneers. I think Coach Holes has done a great job at Croslex, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things go this year.
Coach Michael's in his 3rd season?
3rd season, right. Yep.
Sean Misko is back at the Richmond Blue Devils as head coach as well as Kyle Rowley for the Armada Tigers, who's done some great things there too on that beautiful new field, by the way, out there at Armada.
I need to get out there and see that, yeah.
And we did mention head coach James Loosby for the Almont Raiders. All right, we'll be back after commercial break into the Big Thumb Conference here on Thumb Sportsline.
Every month, it returns, hungry for higher bills, expensive phones, confusing plans, and just one more fee. It's the Big Carrier Monster. Don't feed the monster. Instead, switch to your hometown team at Thumb Cellular. With unlimited plans starting at just $25 a month, you get the service you need without feeding the big guys. Need a new phone? Every smartphone is instantly $360 less than manufacturer prices. Plus, on select plans, you can get a free iPhone or Galaxy phone with no minimum number of lines required. And at Thumb Cellular, you always talk to real people, not AI, not someone halfway around the world, just neighbors who are ready to help. Plus, you'll enjoy service backed by our 45-day satisfaction guarantee. So this month, don't feed the big carrier monster. Visit Thumb Cellular in Bad Axe, Caro, Pigeon, or Sandusky, or see today's deals at thumbcellular.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. Thumb Cellular. Big savings, hometown service.
The King of Cars.
This is Denny King, the King of Cars, with More Motors of Caro. Why choose More Motors of Caro? Because you get more for your money with More Motors of Caro.
More Motors in Caro.
You get award-winning service before, during, and after the sale. You get fair trade offers. You get transparency. And most importantly, trust.
Denny King, the King of Cars.
At More Motors of Caro, we take pride in building relationships that last a lifetime. It's customer service that makes the difference. Why would you settle for anywhere else when you can have the best?
More Motors in Caro.
Choose More Motors of Caro and get more for your money. This is Denny King, the King of Cars.
Denny King.
With a selection of Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you owe it to yourself to come see why your friends and neighbors have been driving to Caro for over 60 years. Located on the west side of Caro on M81, come say hi to Denny King, the King of Cars.
Phew, okay, I'm almost done with this report, then I can finally go to sleep. Your PC has encountered a fatal error?
If your computer's memory failed right now, what data would you lose? Photos, financial records, customer files, years of work, all gone in an instant.
Wait, all my files are they're just gone.
Don't let this happen to you. With data retention solutions from the EBS Tech Team, your data is protected and always accessible. And data loss doesn't just happen from hardware failure. It can come from human error or the unthinkable, like a fire or a flood. That's why the EBS Tech Team's data retention solutions automatically back up your files to secure, off-site storage with no extra equipment needed. And it's all backed by the professional local support you've come to expect from the EBS Tech Team. Get peace of mind for an affordable cost. Call the EBS Tech Team today to find out more. 888-282-4943. Or stop by our Pigeon or Sandusky locations. The EBS Tech Team, supporting your tech needs since 2008. Join the EBS Tech Team for a cybersecurity class for seniors on Wednesday, September 2nd, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Sandusky Community Fire Hall.
All right, welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM. I'm Eddie Fury, and your true host is Mike Gallager of the Sanilac County News. And, of course, we'll have from week to week different Thumb Sports Writers Association members. And we have one right now on the phone with us who's actually on assignment at a scrimmage in Cass City. Scott Bolsby of the Tuscola County Advertiser. Sir, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Just enjoying some outdoor volleyball.
Tell us about that. That's pretty awesome. I saw one picture there, but that's amazing that they were able to pull this off. How are they playing this, and where are they doing it?
Yeah, the floor is a movable floor, like interlocking pieces. They put it down right in front of the bleachers in Cass City. It's probably about 75% on the track, and about a quarter of it is on the sideline of the football field. They have some sheets of plywood down, and then they have the floor on top of it. They have a net out, and they're just having some fun out here. The sun is causing a little bit of problems right now because it's starting to set, and you're looking into it at points. But quite a few people out here for a scrimmage, and they're playing 3 sets. First 2 are first to 21, and the third one is the first to 16, obviously, because they can't play full games. But it's a blast. Sandusky, Laker, Just got done Deckerville and Brown City. Right now, Albany and Millington are playing. And then the final one of the night is going to be Cass City and Marlette. So should be a fun one to cap it off. Right now, it's actually a pretty good matchup between Millington and Albany. And Albany's up now 10-8. So just a fun day of volleyball. Started at 4:30, and I wish they could do something like this during the regular season for a game, like a classic or something, but I'm not sure if it's legal in the MHSA's eyes, but for a full game, but just to have it like this is a lot of fun.
Hence why this is a scrimmage. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, because, at this time of the year, especially during the fall, I see the reasons because there'll be a lot of slipping around because of the dew.
Yes.
It is Michigan and humidity weather. So, yeah. But,
well, a big problem is right now is parts of the floor, I think because the heat is starting to cool down a little bit, are starting to curve up. So it's starting to get a little bit of kind of iffy out there, but the girls said it's fine. So nobody has broken an ankle yet, knock on wood.
And what a great pool of teams there at that scrimmage. I mean, it's, pretty cool they can get those, some of the top teams there together to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it'll obviously, you can't put a lot of stake into it, but I'm sure, later on in the year when we're fighting for all thumb stuff, we can say, hey, what about that scrimmage in Cass City? We saw Millington and Albany play. I'm sure somebody will bring it up, but nonetheless, it's a lot of fun to see some of these teams play each other that don't normally play each other. I know, close by some of these teams, but yet they don't run into each other. So it's nice to just be able to see some top tier talent, come out here and perform.
All right. So Scott Bolsby here with the Tuscola County Advertiser, sports reporter. Scotty, when does your preview issue come out?
Football got pushed back, unfortunately, because we had one of our writers in the office had to go to a funeral. So he was not able to finish up one of the stories. So we had to push it back. It should be in print next week, along with the fall one. So I think it's going to be a double banger next week, if I'm not mistaken. The fall preview will be online, though, this Saturday. So if you have the online access, you can check that out. If not, it will be in print next Wednesday.
And I have that subscription, folks. It's well worth it. Great paper there with you, Scott Bolsby, and your fantastic sports coverage, as well as the Sanilac County News, and Paul Adams with the Huron County View and Huron Daily Tribune. Like I was telling Mike at the top of the program here, I implore folks to support your sports newspapers, and this is how you get your coverage. It takes a lot of time and effort, and I'm glad that you're able to push it back because you want to get it done right and try to put out the best product out there. And I'm fine with you guys. I'm waiting another week here. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it is a bummer, but like you said, you want to get the best product out there. You want to be able to get everybody involved. And I guess if that takes another week, I'm sure people will gladly wait for it.
But I digress. It's summer. It's not fall yet. Can we slow down here? So
Eddie, today was pumpkin spice latte day at Starbucks. Come on.
Hey, we got a Bigby here in Sandusky now. So
I know, man. I'm so happy that my hometown got a Bigby. I was so excited when I finally heard that they were getting one, and then 4 years later they finally got it. But regardless, it was nice to be able to see it actually when it opened up. I drove through town the other day coming back from that cross country meet in Croswell, and I said, hey, I love it. I love to see Bigby in Sandusky. So. Really, really cool to see that. But it's fall in our eyes, the sports writers' eyes. We're all ready for football.
I do want to know: are you calling games, or what's the situation there at 92.1 Sports?
Yeah, I'm semi-retired now. I guess until I get suckered back into it. But as of right now, they have somebody else doing it. Two guys at the office, Eric and Owen. They're trying their hand at it. It's and I know, Eddie, you know it too. It's not an easy thing to do. You can't just throw somebody in there and have them just go with it. It does take a lot of work and I guess talent. Do we have talent? I guess, but
availability, not talent.
Exactly.
We're just around.
You have to give up your nights, your weeks, exactly. But no, it's something I've been wanting to do because I want to cover sports for the newspaper 100% as much as I can. So I said, hey, I want to kind of step back and I want to do the photography side more. I want to take pictures at games. I want to talk to coaches. I don't want to have to tear everything down, then run downstairs and try to catch the coach before he leaves the field. So I said, if we could, we were able to find 2 people that wanted to check it out, try it out, and I am crossing my fingers that it works out and I can go the entire season. Now, with that being said, nothing has been said about basketball season as of yet. I'm more than open to basketball season. It's a little bit easier because you're right in the gym with them, but if they want to keep doing it, hey, I'm more than open to just continuing to cover sports for the newspaper and let them do the radio side.
Are they going to be doing Let's Talk Sports as well?
Yeah, they're still doing Let's Talk Sports
Okay.
on Friday. I haven't listened to it yet. I feel bad. I apologize if they're listening to me, but I have not checked it out with the new host, but I'm sure it's good. They're, the 2 guys that know their stuff and know sports, and one of them used to be the sports guide out in Oklahoma, so he knows the sports up and down, left and right. So I trust him to do it. And the other guy is he was a big soccer guy in high school, so but he knows his stuff. So I'll trust him to do the other side of things. I mean, it was Chris Wilcox doing it. It can't be that hard, right?
So if there's
I'm kidding.
If there's any listeners of this show, if you listen on Tuesday and we say something that upsets you, listen to Let's Talk Sports on Friday, and at least that way you'll have some different opinions. You won't just have to deal with me and Eddie every week.
Yeah, we're there to not. I don't know what they might be upsetting people, but I mean, we were always good at doing that too. So I completely understand. Especially Christian, he was really good at poking the bear a little bit. But
well, you weren't allowed in Cass City for a little while there.
Hey, I made up to the Cuthrells pretty immediately because I did not want to be on that list. Trust me. I mean, you guys have seen that entire family. I mean, any of them could have took me. So I quickly backtracked and I quickly said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that." Oh, Kingston too. I mean, didn't I say something? Oh yeah,
you did. Yeah.
Can't forget about
my mouth. And,
you can't forget about Kingston.
Yeah, I can't. I have a football in my office signed by all the players that reminds me every day of that playoff game that I picked against them and said on the air that they were going to lose. And I ate crow and I ended up with the game ball though. I mean, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything too bad, I guess.
Right.
All right. So not to upset listeners, let's talk about football. Big Thumb Conference White Division was a 3-way tie last year between Millington, the Elkton Pigeon Bayport Lakers, and the Cass City Redhawks. All finished at 3-1 in league play. Overall was Millington at 9-3, Lakers at 8-3, 6-4 was Cass City. Carroll 1-3, but 5-4 overall. And Sandusky 0-4 in league play and 2-7 overall. But 3-way tie, it's I like that stuff. That just tells you how tough that conference can be. The Big Thumb Conference now in that white division. We do have, we mentioned it, that Marlette in the black division last year, they are no longer in black division or in 8-player football. We talked about this at the top of the program. But now for the white division, not much has changed there. It's pretty much the same teams with the Carroll Tigers, Cass City Redhawks, Lakers, Millington Cardinals, and Sandusky Wolves. Well, what's your feeling on this team? Cass City, not a bad season, 6-4 overall. Got a piece of that title with the Lakers and Millington and some pretty good slobber knockers last season.
Yeah. So looking at it this season, I obviously am thinking that Millington's going to do pretty well this year. They return quite a bit from last year. Brand new quarterback, but they're pretty excited about the quarterback situation. And just watching him in scrimmage, I was pretty excited about it as well. He seems like he's doing a great job. It's oh my gosh, I can't think of his name now. Oh man, you guys got me on the spot here. I'm going to kick myself once I get off the phone. But they got a new quarterback put into the program this year. He's been with the team, but this is the first year that he has taken snaps. They were trying out 2 quarterbacks at the scrimmage, and they were pretty confident in both of them, especially because neither of them had taken snaps at the varsity level. So it'll be interesting. But man, I tell you what, the energy that Millington brought in that scrimmage was something else. They were playing out of their mind. you would have thought it was a playoff game. They were just going out there and playing with 110%, so much intensity. They were yelling. They were excited. And I got to give them a ton of credit for bringing that energy, because you don't see that a lot in scrimmages, but they were doing it. And that was one thing Coach Germain was saying, was like, we were wondering who was going to step up, who was going to bring that energy. Because in high school, you need to have energy, controlled energy, but you need to have energy. And he said, we were just wondering who was going to bring that energy. And he goes, I think we saw it, that we have a couple guys out there that are going to bring that energy. So, I think Millington's going to have a great year. You never sleep on Cass City. Cass City returns quite a bit from last season. They're athletic. They're grown. They're another year under, in varsity. And I think that's going to be huge for them. And then all I've heard about all summer long is how good Laker looks on paper, how veteran-led they are, how much they're bringing back, how big they are. And I talked to a couple of people from Millington even, and they said they've got to be the clear-cut front runner to win this league. But you never know. I mean, look at last year. Cass City goes in, beats Millington for the first time in, I think it was like 7 tries. And then Laker gets beat by Millington, and then Laker's able to beat Cass. No, how'd it go? I'm trying to think now. Laker got beat by Millington. Millington got beat by Cass City. And then Cass City got beat by Laker.
So,
right?
Yeah. Cass City beat Cass City. It was Lakers beating Cass City, and then Lakers losing to Millington.
Millington, yes. Yeah. And it was anybody's ball game last year. I mean, it was just an exciting season, and I think it's going to be another one of those this year. I think the BTC White is poised to have a good year, and I don't want to sleep on the Carroll Tigers either. They return a lot this year as well. They're going to be very experienced. They're going to have quite a few players coming back that have had a lot of experience, and I think that they're if they can put it all together and put it on the field, I don't see why they couldn't be in the hunt as well. They got a very tough schedule though. They open up with Bridgeport, but then they who they've been historically good against, but then they go against Harbor Beach, and they have Cass City on there. They have Garber on there. They have Edison. Just some real solid, tough squads. So Carroll can find their way in the playoffs. They're going to be battle tested.
Once Scott gets off the phone here, Eddie, I'll explain to you why Sandusky is actually going to win the white division.
Okay.
Scott forgot to mention the Wolves.
Is Vassar in the white this year, or are they in the black?
I believe they're in the black still.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Reese and Vassar are.
I just wanted to make sure, because I just did a preview on all these teams, and I get all the colors mixed up, so I apologize.
We got 5 different divisions, 2 and 11 player, only in 3 now in 8-player football. Yep.
Scott,
I mean, what's that?
The quarterback for Millington, I'm reading in the Tuscola County Advertiser, Layden DeLong.
Thank you. I knew it was something DeLong, but I couldn't remember his first name, and I didn't want to accidentally screw it up. Yeah, Layden DeLong. He actually had surgery on his shoulder. I believe he had a surgery done, and he's feeling healthy, feeling good. According to Coach Germain, and they're ready to go. So, another guy I forgot to mention over there, Drake Terwilliger. I don't know if you know who Drake Terwilliger is, Mike. I know you know who he is because you got to see him play baseball.
Yes.
He's a man amongst boys, and he's just a built individual, just a specimen. And he wasn't going to play football. And the night before the season opened up, or the preseason opened up, he called Coach Germain and said, "Hey, I'm gonna be there. I want to play." So that was a huge get for them to get back. He's just a big dude and a physical dude. So that was huge for them. You got to watch out. Another kid, Hudson Myers. He's going to be another. He's a running back. He's going to be a physical kid. I got to see him a couple times. He actually hit a kid in the scrimmage and knocked the kid's helmet off. Now, albeit the kid's helmet was a little loose, but man, he popped it off there for him. But it was a heck of a hit. But it was he's just a physical player. Just that's what Millington's going to be this year, is physical. And, I think that they're going to be right, like usual on the line. They're going to be physical, and I think it's going to be fun. Now, Cass City, real quick, I said they're athletic. I said, they had a lot of kids coming back. I don't know a ton about them yet. I haven't been able to talk to Coach Cupthorell about them, but I will see them. That's where I'm going to be on Thursday night. So I'm excited to see what they can bring. And I know they're going to be hungry for some revenge against Harbor Beach. And I know Harbor Beach is going to be a team to just roll over and let them get that revenge. So I think it's going to be I think I wrote in the Advertiser preview for that game, I said, these are two hard-nosed smash mouth teams that hate each other between the hashes. So I think it's going to be fun football coming up on Thursday, and we'll learn a lot about both teams. And I think we'll learn a lot about Cass City because, they're going to need some, I guess they're going to need some physicality to compete in the white this season because sounds like Lakers and Millington are ready to strap it on and get going.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Carroll because I got to see him against Sandusky, and that was such an exciting offense, and that's where they started that 3-game win streak at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And they played pretty tough against those top teams, that three-way tied champions. They only lost 14-0 to Millington and lost to the Lakers 26-14 and lost to Cass City 33-6, due to some mistakes and turnovers there for Carroll. But once they cleaned up that game after Cass City, they went in that 3-game win streak there. And, if they would have had maybe just a win, against Millington, where that one kept close, that would have probably got them into the playoffs there.
100%. And I don't see why Carroll can't throw their hat in the race, throw their hat in the ring, get in the race because they're returning a lot and they have some Millington DNA going on because they have Coach Ryan Love, who knows a lot about Millington football, obviously. So, just add him to the mix. And I really like what they have at the quarterback position. I'm impressed all around with them. Last year when I saw them, they competed. It was one of the first times in many years that I actually went to a Carroll game, and I was like, wow, this Carroll is playing like a football team should play. They went out there and they did everything that they could to win a game, and I was very impressed with them and very impressed with what Coach Ryan Love had out there for him. So, yeah, I don't count them out by any means. I think that they're gonna bring a fight every single night, and it's gonna stink. They did lose Luke Joslin, who is just a behemoth. He's now going to MIT because he's freaking smart as a whip and a great football player and just a physical kid and just a motor that doesn't stop. So they are losing that, but they can. That's where you get other kids to step up. So yeah, I have a lot of faith that Carroll could be. Somebody's messing with me behind me with the truck. Sorry, guys. But they have, they just have a lot of heart, and I think that you'll see them have a good battle this year.
Real quick, the schedule for that white division, again, there's a lot of non-league and cross-conference matchups. Bridgeport is at Carroll, you mentioned, on Thursday. Harbor Beach has Cass City. That is the prime week one matchup there on Thursday. And then Lakers is at Lake Odessa Lakewood on Thursday. And Millington has Detroit Communication Media Arts, and that is at Millington on Thursday as well. Go ahead, Mike.
I just had a quick note on Carroll. You mentioned Luke Joslin. Obviously, he was probably their best player last season. Led the team in tackles, all conference, defensively and offensively. But he was one of just 4 seniors for Carroll, and he was the only senior to earn all conference recognition. Every other all conference player for Carroll was either a sophomore or a junior. So, like as you mentioned, they have a ton coming back, and this is this. I don't know if it's their best shot at making the playoffs. I mean, hopefully the program continues trending in the right direction, where it's they're competing for that type of stuff more consistently. But this is definitely a big opportunity for Carroll.
Oh yeah, 100%. They. As you said, Mason Henry, the quarterback, Jack Stevens, the wideout. Those are going to be two big players to watch out for this season. They have some really talented kids out there too. A kid that I would like to see have a big, role is Ethan Coker. I saw his name on the roster. He's another physical kid. See if he can get involved. They have a lot of grit. They have a lot of strength on that team. A lot of kids on that team do wrestle, so it could be interesting to see what they are able to do. But yeah, I definitely think that it is their best bet or their best chance in a while to make the playoffs. It does, it does think who they play. They have some really tough teams on there, but again, you got to beat the best to be the best. And if they want to make the playoffs, they're definitely, like I said, they can get in the playoffs. They're going to be battle tested because they got some strong teams on that schedule. But I think, if nothing else, they're going to be encouraged to beat some of these teams, especially their rival down the road where I'm at right now, Cass City, the M81 rivalry. It's been controlled by Cass City for how many years? They've shut out Carroll how many years until last year when Carroll finally scored a touchdown. But, I think Carroll is going to be motivated to win some of these big games against some of these big teams.
Yeah, Carroll, just what a gauntlet of games they have here. Like you said, Bridgeport, that's a home game. Home game against Harbor Beach in week 2. They're at Sandusky in week 3, but then Millington, Lakers on the road for Carroll, home against Cass City, and then at Ubly, at Garber, and then home against Detroit Edison. That's a tough schedule. One of the toughest there for the Carroll Tigers. So,
yeah. I was going to say one of the tougher ones I've seen in my area this year.
And Lakers in week 1 at Lake Odessa, Lakewood. Then they have Ubly, and then at Millington, and then home against Vassar and Carroll, at Sandusky, home against Cass City, home against Harbor Beach, and Detroit Communication Media Arts. But look at Millington's schedule too, as we're at Cass City. They have Harbor Beach week 1, at Vassar, home against USA, home against Sandusky, home against Millington, then Carroll on the road, and at Lakers, those 3 straight games, and then at Reese, and then they finish the season at Ubly. And man, what a schedule for all those, that why it was a 3-way tie. Everybody's beating each other, but all playing each other in a row like that.
Yeah, it's going to be iron sharpens iron type of thing, because you're going to be having some of the best around play each other a couple weeks in a row. So, maybe somebody's going to get tired by the end of that and maybe lose a game they shouldn't lose or something. Anything can happen. I think it's going to be a battle, and it's not it's not the white, but talking to Kerry Messing or getting his information, the Reese head coach, he said that it's a tough conference, and I don't expect the champion to not have a loss, or I expect the champion to have a loss, I guess. That's how I feel about the white division, too. I just have a feeling that somebody is going to win that, and they're going to have a dash in the loss column because it's not going to be easy.
All right, Scott, can you stick around with us? You want to call back, or you got to get back to the game?
I'm good right now.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes here, folks, and we'll dive into the Big Thumb Conference Black Division. Do you have one more note there or not?
Nope.
Okay, we'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline. We'll be right back here, folks, on WMIC AM 660 and 95.3 FM.
Keep your radio locked on the Thumb's information station, 660 WMIC AM Sandusky and 95.3 FM, W237EQ Sandusky.
Now happening, the big mid-season sale at Tri-County Equipment, your John Deere.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on WMIC AM 660 and 95.3 FM. And just talking about that, white divisions get me pretty excited now, Mike for football. Still with us is Scott Bolsby from the Tuscola County Advertiser. The issues come out on Wednesday and Saturdays. Get your online edition, and hey, you can save yourself a crystal clear copy of the online edition like you do with the Sanilac County News, or you can pick up the paper edition because my new dog Maggie just loves the sports section.
Well, and obviously we love Scott and we love the Advertiser sports section, but Tom Gilchrist in the Advertiser news section is one of the best.
Yeah.
It's top notch.
Funny guy. He's got some great jokes. All right. All right.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
No Joke was the unofficial Big Thumb Conference champions The Harbor Beach Pirates won a state title last season.
They were pretty good, huh?
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
And they beat all three of those teams we talked about, Millington, Lakers, Cass City, and more last season to go undefeated and get their second state championship in school history. Just what a remarkable season last year. Even with not all their players fully healthy throughout the season, by the end of the season, once they got them all in gear, just finished on a roll there. And man, what a storied season for that Harbor Beach Pirate team there, Mike.
Yeah, and it was crazy because the whole season it was, well, just wait until Benson Harper gets back, and for a majority of the season they didn't have one of the best players in the thumb. So yeah, it was incredible what they accomplished, but they were a very senior heavy team, and we saw that with the basketball team as well. Just an incredible group of seniors. So they're going to be not necessarily back to the drawing board in Harbor Beach, but looking at the all-conference list, Logan Cruz, a tackle, was a sophomore honorable mention. Ty Winkle, linebacker, was a sophomore honorable mention. Every other all-conference player for Harbor Beach, which there was a lot of them because they dominated the conference, they were all seniors, and that includes players like Andrew Caban, who was first team all-conference both ways. Caden Buchholz at quarterback, he was our all-thumb player of the year, and he was just incredible in the postseason. A majority of their offensive line. So it's going to be a different-looking Harbor Beach team, but when you have a program like Harbor Beach, it's the next man up. There's a lot of great players that played behind those seniors last season that are, I'm sure, completely capable of stepping up into the starting position. And they have two of the best coaches in the thumb in Troy Schelke and Ron Rubel. So you could say the conference still goes through Harbor Beach, but it will be a little bit of a closer race this season. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, and I do want to. We tailed off onto the Sandusky Wolves in 2025, just 2 wins. They started the season with a loss to Saginaw Nouvelle, win over Marlette, and they took on Millington. They put 20 points, but lost 55-20, 28-20 win over Burton Bendel, their only second and last win. Cass City, Lakers, and Carroll with the losses where they put up and lost by 2 points. They were in that lead, too, in that game against Carroll, 30-28. And ended the season with a couple losses due to injuries as it came down to it, 14-45, and losing to Reese, 21-42. Sandusky Wolves, I know we left out on there. You mentioned them. How do we see this team now in their third season under Ryan Palmer?
Yeah, and it was always going to be a thing where there was going to be an adjustment period with the program, going from Craig Jacobson to Ryan Palmer, just because offensively their philosophies are completely different. With Jacobson running the wing T, Palmer running the spread. But every season you could see Sandusky getting a little bit better on offense. And this season, I'm hoping that this is the season that they break through, because they have the players to do so. Senior Jack Betts at quarterback, he's going to be obviously so important for that team. Last year we saw Nathaniel Tovar emerge as one of the best wide receivers in the thumb as a sophomore. He was all thumb first team wide receiver. But you look at a guy like Gavin Phillips, who will be back at wide receiver. And Carter Bush was very good as a sophomore last season at wide receiver as well. So offensively, Sandusky has the weapons. I think Coach Palmer is where he wants to be offensively. So it's going to come down to offensive line play.
And a lot of these players who have now 2 years under experience, because
Yes,
they started off young.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And defensively, you're going to have to be a little bit better than you were last year. Now, for Sandusky, they have an incredibly tough schedule. And again, I said it's going to be a theme of this show. But you start with USA and Reese, and then you have Carroll, Cass City, Lakers, and Millington in your conference. And we just got done talking about those teams and how great they are and how Carroll brings everyone back. And so it's going to be tough in the conference. And then you have Vassar and Detroit University Prep at the end of the season. But I think offensively, Sandusky is going to be good enough to compete with these teams. You're going to need to get some stops defensively. Ryan McKinney is going to be a huge player for that defense. He's a great wrestler for Sandusky. And with the graduation of Brady Steeb and Bryce Kiley, they were both great defensive players last season for Sandusky. He's going to have to play a much bigger role for Sandusky. But Jack Betts, an incredibly talented quarterback, and he has a ton of weapons.
Yeah, and he's a running quarterback too.
Absolutely,
yeah.
He can get yards on the ground. And when you have that go-to receiver like Tovar, I mean that's a big deal. But in this Sandusky offense, it's about spreading the ball around and having a ton of different options offensively. And now they have the pieces to fit into that offense. So I'm excited about Sandusky this season. Getting a win against USA right off the bat would be humongous. Because again, the conference games are going to be tough. So you look at the non-conference, USA, Reese, Vassar, Detroit University Prep. Don't know anything about Detroit University Prep, but we know USA and Reese are good. Vassar's going to be an improved team. And then you have Harbor Beach in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a much better Sandusky team this year, and hopefully it results in a lot more wins.
And I think we hope to see them starting in week 3 when they're going up against Reese, I believe. So, yeah.
Reese is week 2.
2? Okay. We might have 2 games next week. You never know. So, all right. And you mentioned Unionville Seaboyne. That's the first game of the season, which leads us back into the Black Division here, Scotty. Unionville Seaboyne made some great strides last season. They had a fantastic running back. Now, they started off with a loss last year against Charlevoix, but then it went 3 straight wins over Carroll, Marlette, and Reese. Big loss to Harbor Beach, 52-6. But if you remember in the playoffs, where they made it to the second round, they played Harbor Beach a little bit tougher. They only lost by 13, 35-12. But what a great stride for them to make it into the playoffs here as well. After that win-loss to Harbor Beach, they had 3 straight wins again against Vassar, Ubly, Sandusky. And those were key wins to get them into the playoffs after they're losing to Saginaw Valley Lutheran. But they had the win over Genesee in the playoff. Round 1, 7-4 overall, 4-1 in league play. I think that was a successful season for Unionville Seaboyne last year.
Yeah, me too. I think they had a great year. They do lose, quite a few different key pieces from that team last year. I still have a lot of faith in them. I'm impressed just by the numbers, and Coach Hahn over there, he's going to obviously get the most out of them. They have DJ Harrison back, who was their leading tackler. Kid is a monster. He's going to be hungry this year on defense again, and I think he's going to be a huge help to them. So I have a lot of faith in USA and what they're able to do this year. And I was just talking to Mike off the air, and I think that Sandusky USA game is going to be where I'm going to be on Friday night. I just feel like it's going to be a great game between those two teams. I don't know. Like Mike said, they have 2 different styles of play. USA loves to ground and pound, grind it out, and then Sandusky throws it a little bit more, to say the least. So I think it's going to be 2 different styles of play. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top, but I think it's going to be a great game. I have a lot of anticipation this year for USA. Then you guys just brought them up. Did I say anticipation? Excitement this year for USA. Then you flip it, and you guys were just talking about Vassar. They're another team to watch out for. Vassar is very veteran-led on paper. They have a new coach, second-year coach, I should say, with Coach Hahn. That's Jason Hahn, the cousin of Josh Hahn.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they can bring. Maddox Skorleski, their quarterback, he is a Grand Valley State University commit. So I think they're going to be all right at the quarterback position. He's a big dude. He does track and field, so he can run. So I think he's going to be somebody to watch out for. But Blake Carr is back at the running back position. They got Carmelo Poe back. Trying to think who else. I mean, they got a
receiver.
Kilgore. Gavin Kilgore.
Yep.
Yeah, who's got a great name. But I think they have a lot coming back this year, and Vassar's a team to watch. And then right down the road from them, and Reese has a lot of numbers this year. Reese is going to be. They have quite a few kids that graduated, including the big man Messing. But I think that they're going to still be good. They're going to replace those guys. And the one thing I'm most impressed with Reese is the numbers. They're one of the bigger teams in my area, which is exciting because, not too long ago, Reese was struggling with numbers. So it's exciting to see them back out there and able to get kids to come out and play. So I'm excited to see what Coach Kerry Messing has in store this year for the black division, because I think that, he's the one that said, I think our champion for the league is going to have, he said losses. So I just think he thinks, and I think I agree that it's going to be a really cutthroat type of division. I think there's going to be a lot of fight in that every single week. You're going to see teams maybe upset other teams, and you're going to maybe not be as shocked as we might have been in previous years. Real quick, I wanted to step back. I just wanted to say real quick, in the white division, I talked to Coach Jermaine. He is excited to get us pretty much all thumb schedule this year. Besides Detroit Communication Media Arts, they play Reese, they play Ubley, they play Harbor Beach, they play Laker, they play Cass City. He goes, this is a schedule we've always wanted, a thumb-heavy schedule. So I think we can all agree that this is the schedule we've all wanted too. So I think, he speaks for all of us when he said that Millington's excited for having that thumb schedule this year.
Yeah, Reese 5-5 last year, made it to the playoffs, lost to Harbor Beach in the first round, but of course Harbor Beach state champions. Reese starts off at Hart and then at Sandusky in week 2, home against Vassar, on the road at Ubley, home against USA, at Millington, and then home against Harbor Beach, Cass City, and then they end the regular season against Saginaw Michigan Lutheran Seminary. Back to USA, man, what a tough start to their schedule. They got Sandusky at home, then Millington, Cass City, Harbor Beach, then at Reese, home against Ubley, at Vassar, and then non-league games at Mount Clemens and Saginaw Valley Lutheran. What a tough start for USA Patriots.
Yeah, and just a tough schedule completely, because Saginaw Valley Lutheran is much improved. They used to be kind of a we're going to walk over you and get the easy W type of team, and that is not the way that they are anymore. They have really turned things around there at Saginaw Valley Lutheran. So we saw them knock off USA last year. Reese beat them, and then USA lost to them, and I believe that helped them. Or did they beat Valley Lutheran? I think they lost to them. But either way, Valley Lutheran was just a very much improved squad. So I think it's going to be interesting to see not only how USA can start the season, but how they can keep things going all the way throughout the season, because there's really no easy game. And like Mike said, that's kind of the way things, just kind of the top or the way, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? The definition, or what's the word I'm looking for? What did you say? That's the theme. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
My brain's fried from after this previous stuff, but the theme is just tough schedules. I mean, that's really, I mean, even non-conference schedules are going to be tough for a lot of teams in the area.
Vassar 3-6 last year. They start off the season at home against Carleton, hosting Cass City in week 2, then at Reese, at Lakers, home against Ubly, at Harbor Beach, home against USA, at Sandusky and Bridgeport for the Vassar Vulcans. The Big Thumb Conference Black Division, and now we have the Ubly Bearcats. Kind of disappointing season last year, but that's where the one side of the divisions got better. Ubly overall last year finished at 3-6 themselves. Close loss against Lakers back in week 1. They got the win over Clarkson Everest Collegiate in week 2. Lost to Harbor Beach 33-6. Win over Marlette and Vassar. And then lost to Reese, followed by USA, Cass City, and Clinton. Was not a great finish for the Ubly Bearcats, and hopefully to make some good strides for this season.
Yeah, and Eddie, this is going to sound like I just have nothing more intelligent to say, but what a tough schedule for Ubly.
Yeah.
Ubly probably has the toughest schedule in Division 8.
They do.
Because you look at Clarkson Everest, obviously, but then you're going to play Elkton, Pigeon Bayport. You're going to play Millington, and you have Cass City on your schedule, Caro. It's a brutal schedule for Ubly. It was a first-year head coach last season. So that's always tough. But they have a couple of pieces coming back. Jordan Maurer was a key piece offensively and defensively. First team all conference running back. It's Ubly, and Ubly football is Ubly football. They're always going to be competitive. They're always going to be a hard-nosed, grinded-out football team. But the athletic department didn't do their coach any favors with that schedule.
Yeah.
So
who is Troy Hildreth, by the way?
Troy Hildreth, yes.
Yep,
But looking at last season, a win over Marlette, win over Vassar, and they did beat Clarkson Everest early in the season. 14-0 loss to Lakers. So they're going to be competitive, and with another season under his belt, I think he's, they're going to be better than they were last season. But looking at that schedule, where are the wins going to come from? Because even they beat Vassar last season, but we just got done talking about how Vassar returns everybody.
Yeah.
They have Caro on the schedule. Well, Caro brings everybody back. They beat Marlette last season. Obviously, Marlette is not going to be on the schedule. So it's just it could be a tough season for Ubly, but we know traditionally what that program is, and they are going to compete, and they are going to be a tough out. But we'll just have to wait and see where the wins come from. Getting a win against Clarkson Everest right off the bat, that would be pretty nice. And then you're gonna be battling every week after that.
Yeah, you got Lakers, Harbor Beach, Reese, Vassar, USA, Carroll, Millington, and Cass City at the end of the season.
And I'm not saying that they can't win any of those games, but is there a game on the schedule where you're like, that's a win right there? That's definitely a win. Which again, they definitely could beat some of those teams, but there's not going to be any gimme wins for Ubly.
All right. So again, for that Big Thumb Conference Black Division, Harbor Beach is at Cass City. What a matchup there for week 1. You have Reese at Hart, Ubly at Clarkson Everest Collegiate, Carleton is at Vassar as well. Any final thoughts on the Big Thumb Black Division there, Scotty?
I want to say it again this year, and I'm hoping that I'm right, is, watch out for the Vassar Vulcans. I'm hoping that this year they can finally figure things out and put it on in the field. And I really have a lot of faith in Coach Hahn. I think that he's got a good thing going over there. And I really like Maddox Korleski. He threw for over 1,400 yards last year. So watch out for him this year. I just think it's going to be another great battle. I think there's going to be, quite a few teams that are going to be battling it out. Sure, Harbor Beach graduated a lot, but it's Harbor Beach. I mean, come on. We can never sleep on Harbor Beach at all. They just seem like they just bring up somebody new and they're tough again. Albany's got that special style of football. Reese, USA Vass, it's going to be a battle. And I think that whoever wins it is definitely going to earn it this year.
Okay. Scotty, are you going to have to leave or do you want to stick around? Because we still have 8-player football, so yeah.
I know. I got to go. Cass City and Marlette are just about to play. So I got to get some pictures of that. But I will say Mayville is going to be hurting with numbers this year. They're going to play, but they definitely don't have a lot of room for injuries. Kingston's going to be tough. Deckerville is going to be tough. And that's about as much as I can tell you on 8-player football right now.
All right. Thank you, Scotty.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll let Scotty go and doing his job, man, on the road at Cass City Outdoor Volleyball Scrimmage. I'm Eddie Theory, thinking of Scott Bolsby of the Tuscola County Advertiser. Did they say what their game of the week was yet or not?
Oh, we forgot to ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up there. All right, that's Scott Bolsby, Tuscola County Advertiser. We want to thank you for calling in and stuck around for over an hour with us.
Always great to have Scotty on.
And we're excited to see other sports writers chiming in come next week after week 1 is 2. We'll go through 8-player football, 6 different divisions there we are keeping track of and keeping scores of. You'll see that come the end of game nights, late nights, just like Mike and I and all the sports writers do late at night. Try to put it in an organized fashion for everybody there on our website at sanilacbroadcasting.com. We'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline. High school football come your way.
The King of Cars.
This is Denny King, the King of Cars, with More Motors of Caro. Why choose More Motors of Caro? Because you get more for your money with More Motors of Caro.
More Motors in Caro.
You get award-winning service before, during, and after the sale. You get fair trade offers. You get transparency. And most importantly, trust.
Denny King, the King of Cars.
At More Motors of Caro, we take pride in building relationships that last a lifetime. It's customer service that makes the difference. Why would you settle for anywhere else when you can have the best?
More Motors in Caro.
Choose More Motors of Caro and get more for your money. This is Denny King, the King of Cars.
Denny King.
With a selection of Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you owe it to yourself to come see why your friends and neighbors have been driving to Caro for over 60 years. Located on the west side of Caro on M81, come say hi to Denny King, the King of Cars.
Every month, it returns, hungry for higher bills, expensive phones, confusing plans, and just one more fee. It's the Big Carrier Monster. Don't feed the monster. Instead, switch to your hometown team at Thumb Cellular. With unlimited plans starting at just $25 a month, you get the service you need without feeding the big guys. Need a new phone? Every smartphone is instantly $360 less than manufacturer prices. Plus, on select plans, you can get a free iPhone or Galaxy phone with no minimum number of lines required. And at Thumb Cellular, you always talk to real people, not AI, not someone halfway around the world, just neighbors who are ready to help. Plus, you'll enjoy service backed by our 45-day satisfaction guarantee. So this month, don't feed the Big Carrier Monster. Visit Thumb Cellular in Bad Axe, Carroll, Pigeon, or Sandusky, or see today's deals at thumbcellular.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. Thumb Cellular. Big savings, hometown service.
Sanilac County Broadcasting invites you to dive into the pages of Michigan's history with Thumbing Through the Archives. Join me, Erica Frisbee, and my co-hosts, Mike Gallager and Nick Lean, as we take a gander at some of the state's most gripping cases from local counties far and wide. We've done our research and are ready to share it with you, our listeners. By the end of it, you're sure to be smitten by the minute. Tune in to 95.3 FM or WMIC 660 AM on Wednesdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for new episodes each week. We can't wait to share some of Michigan's history with you and hope you'll pop by to take a listen.
Now happening, the big mid-season sale at Tri-County Equipment, your John Deere headquarters with 11 locations serving eastern Michigan. Take advantage of 0% financing and great discounts on many items. Buy the John Deere 1023E tractor and 120R loader for $19,129 and your choice of 0% financing or $700 cash bonus. Tri-County Equipment also has the 1025R tractor with loader for $21,799 plus 0% financing or $1,750 bonus. There's also the John Deere 3025E tractor with loader for $24,499 and 0% financing or $750 cash bonus. It's the big mid-season sale now on at Tri-County Equipment in Sandusky, Marlette, Carroll, Bad Axe, Lapeer, Burton, Fenton, Birch Run, Reese, Saginaw, and Auburn Hills. Come in and deal today.
Tri-County Equipment.
Welcome back to Film Sportsline on WMIC, AM 660, 95.3 FM. It'll be every Tuesday evening here, starting at 5:30 p.m. till when we're done. Usually it's around 8:30, at the very latest, right up to the 9 o'clock hour. So
this one's going to go a little long.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 8-player football.
I've only talked about 2 of my teams.
Well,
Eddie, real quick,
yes.
Before we get into the 8-player talk,
yes.
I think we should just really quickly go through the realignment in the 8-player
yes.
Big Thumb Conference.
Yep.
First of all, there is 3 new members in Byron, Burton Bentley, and Bay City Academy. Those are 3 teams that we don't really know much about, and we aren't really going to know much about them until the season starts. Byron has been playing 8-player football, so it's not necessarily new to them. Burton Bentley, this will be their first season in 8-player football. And Bay City Academy is a completely new athletic team, as they were co-oping with Bay City All Saints for the past couple seasons. So this is a completely new football program. And again, we don't know much about them, but what we do know is that their head coach is Rob McDaniel.
Oh.
The former Peck Pirates head coach.
Really? And former Carroll Tigers.
And yes.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah. So pretty good hire right off the bat, I'd say.
State champion coach.
State champion. And I think he understands the game very well. And it could be a very tough season for Bay City Academy because it's their, first year playing football.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to at least build a nice foundation there and at least get the program off the ground. So with that, there are now 3 divisions of 8-player football in the Big Thumb Conference, and we should probably go over these every single week because it's going to take us a while to get acclimated. But first, the Big Thumb Conference Gold Division, which is the new one, that is going to be Marlette, Bad Axe, Memphis, Burton Bentley, Brown City, and K-Pac. Pretty competitive conference right there. The Blue Division, not much different with this, except for the addition of Byron and New Haven Merritt. But the Blue Division will be Kingston, Mayville, Dryden, Deckerville, Byron, and New Haven Merritt Academy. The Red Division, while they are not playing varsity this season, Caseville, North Huron, All Saints, Carsonville, Port Sanilac, Peck, Akron Fairgrove, and Bay City Academy. So not too many dramatic changes other than, the addition of a new division. But a little bit of change. So it will take a little bit to get used to that. But how great is that for the Big Thumb Conference?
Yeah.
One of the premier 8-player conferences in the state, I would argue.
So the Big Thumb Conference blue, right? Right.
Where would you like to start?
Let me see. That consisted of who?
The blue?
Yeah.
That is Kingston, Mayville, Dryden, Deckerville, Byron, and New Haven Merit Academy.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go into that since you mentioned that. The Big Thumb Blue Conference. Deckerville, of course, made it to the state semifinals last season. Lost to the eventual state champions, the Portland St. Patricks. Congratulations to them.
Wait.
Huh?
Do you think they're the Portland St. Patricks?
Shamrocks. Did I say it twice?
Yes.
You know what time
it would be a great mascot, the Patricks.
Do you know what time I start here, right?
Well,
5
yes,
o'clock in the
I know.
morning.
You've been here for like 25 straight hours,
Yes,
so I guess I could cut you a little bit of slack. But
Deckerville, coming 2 years ago from a state championship, and then to get that far, with some key players still, but Portland St. Patrick Shamrocks are quite a big team there.
That was
yeah.
Well, and the state championship game was a complete blowout. So you could argue that the semifinal was more of the state championship game. Not that it makes a difference.
So looking at this conference, you have Deckerville and Kingston. Of course, that's going to be the big showdown. These other teams here. Scotty did allude to the fact that Mayville is, having some problems with numbers. They did have to deal with injuries last year, right?
Yes, they did. I think they forfeited a game last season.
New Haven Merit Academy, they usually do a pretty decent job of keeping the numbers there, but
it's a tough spot for New Haven because they weren't that great last season, and last season they were in the red division with the smaller schools.
Yep.
So last season they went 1-8. They beat CPS by 6, and they are rewarded by getting moved up a division. So it's going to be tough for New Haven. But again, we don't really know too much about them. We don't really know what they have coming back, or what even they were last season. Maybe they were a young team.
Now Deckerville finished 10-2 overall and 10-2 in the Big Thumb Conference. They also shared the league title with the Kingston Cardinals. Both were 6-1 overall, and that was due to the fact that Deckerville lost to KPAC in that, and that allowed Kingston to send roses to KPAC, but
yes, because the week before, Deckerville beat Kingston.
Yeah.
So, but just yes, obviously they lost to KPAC, and KPAC was a really good team last year.
The way they finished last season
it was
just
incredible.
Amazing.
They were one of the best teams in the state by the end of the season.
Because they beat Deckerville in the regular season, they beat Brown City in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
they took on Kingston, lost 32-8, but applaud them for making those big strides there.
Yeah, Kingston was very thankful that KPAC beat Deckerville, but not thankful enough to let them compete with them in the playoff game. But that KPAC game. So against Kingston, obviously Ian Flanagan, the quarterback for Deckerville, suffered a season-ending injury, which obviously was devastating for Deckerville. And right off the bat, they lose their very next game. But when you lose a player like that, and obviously he was a good quarterback, but he was one of their best defensive players as well. So, obviously it was very tough to lose against KPAC.
And remember, Kingston made it to the semifinals last year also, but that was in the other
different division.
Different division.
Yeah,
they lost only 20-8 to Martin. So,
yes. But what that did do for Deckerville was, in the KPAC game, there was a different quarterback that played, and since they lost, it's not really fair to throw his name out there because it wasn't his fault that they lost. I think it was just kind of an adjustment to playing without Flanagan. But what that did do for Deckerville was it kind of forced them to put Cooper Brown in at quarterback.
Yes, young
And
kid,
freshman. You know,
Yeah.
he at the beginning of the season he was the ball boy. You know, he's been the ball boy for as long as probably his whole life.
Mhm.
And by the end of the season, he's the starting quarterback, and he was
son of the defensive coach and
Yes, of course.
nephew of the head coach.
Yes, yes, yes. So he's been around Deckerville forever. He's been a part of the program forever. Now the plan wasn't to put him in at quarterback, you know, but the injury to Flanagan and the loss against K-Pac, they had to make that decision, and it turned out to be a good decision because he was great for Deckerville in the postseason. I mean, he was a freshman. His first start was week 9, and then you go and beat Morris, which he was great in that game, the Britton Deerfield game. But he wasn't asked to do too much because he's a freshman quarterback and you have a lot of talent around him. But he was very good at the quarterback position for Deckerville. And now he has had the whole off season to be working with the varsity team, working with the first string offense. And I think he's ready for a breakout season. I think he's going to be one of the top players in the area. And I don't mean to put pressure on a sophomore, but it was just so impressive watching him play last season because he didn't seem like a freshman. And he did a lot of different things. He ran the ball well. He was a great passer, but he was also a really good blocker too.
Yeah. I think the ball control, taking care of the ball.
Yes.
Helped a lot. And he was being well protected. Those guys in front
Yes.
and around him were making sure, we know we got a young player here.
Yep.
He was very receptive to the instructions, just listening and learning. And you could tell game by game, improving.
Right.
And then, young kid, he's still very young. Saw him this past summer, this season. And I could tell, little growth spurt. Small kid, but tough.
Right.
It's tough. He can take a hit.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
but great protection. Deckerville did protect him well on that aspect,
Yes.
with the game, especially him having to come in, and then take him to the state semifinals. So,
right. It was incredibly
But
impressive.
Brandon Salowich, when you got a kid like that in the backfield.
Yeah, exactly. we want to give Cooper a lot of credit, but we're also glossing over the fact that Deckerville had a dominant defense.
Good game adjustment by the coaches. Not really
Yes.
pulling away from the whole game plan. Made some minor adjustments, but still kind of sticking to the plan.
Right.
And the kid responded well to it. So
Right. So this season, he's going to be expected to be a humongous part of that
focal
offense.
point. Yeah.
First of all, because Salowitz is going to be out for the first couple weeks of the season.
Still he got injured during what? Basketball season?
Baseball. He started the baseball season.
His true sport is baseball.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
So-
He's one of the best football players in the state in 8-player football, and it's not even his sport. He's a baseball player.
Yeah, he's a better baseball player. So
Yes. So to be without him, obviously offensively, is going to be huge. But he's a fantastic linebacker as well. But when you look at Deckerville's roster from last season, so Salowitz, obviously the leading rusher, he had 1,381 yards. After him, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leading rushers for Deckerville were all seniors. When Mark Donker, Ian Flanagan, Parker Perez, Evan Goby,
Jesse Kabowski in the receiver and defense.
Yes.
He's gone now. So
for Deckerville, you have to find a couple running backs, and that shouldn't be a problem for Deckerville, I don't think, because every year they lose these great seniors, and every year they just reload. And we've come to expect that from Deckerville, where it's just the next man up. So there's going to be some opportunities for some new kids in the backfield. So that's pretty exciting. But in the meantime, it's going to be Cooper, kind of being the guy back there until they figure things out at the running back position. And then thankfully, their offensive line is going to be just as great as it always is. Obviously, you lose Caden Franzel. He was our all-thumb offensive lineman of the year. But you bring back Jackson Peruski, who was an all-state offensive lineman, and Joe Puzan, who was first-team all-conference offensive lineman. And every year, the offensive line play for Deckerville is some of the best in the area. So whoever gets that lead running back position, they are going to step into a very good situation. And, obviously losing Solowitz is humongous.
Yeah. There's no timetable when he'll be back, or?
It's, I don't want to speculate or, but he'll be back.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I think Deckerville's going to be fine. Because their defense is still going to be great. And again, you're losing Kubaki. You're losing Evan Benji, who was, their top, linebacker next to Solowitz. Trenton Park, Logan Shank. I mean, Deckerville is losing an incredible group of seniors.
Just like Kingston is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be opportunities for new players at Deckerville.
Well, they'll start off against Coleman, and it'll be a good test to start off with.
Yep.
That'll be a home game, too. And then a second game in week 2, they have Bad Axe. We did that game last year. It was an afternoon game last year. I got to see Bad Axe.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're on the road for 3 straight games at Byron, New Haven Merit Academy, at Dryden. And then they got Kingston, Mayville, at Brown City, and at Capex. So the end of the season finishes strong. So they kind of they got some breaks between these games and all these teams that should improve. I mean, Bad Axe second season, they have a lot of returning players themselves. I think you're going to see an improvement in Bad Axe this season too.
I agree. I believe Fritz is graduated. He was there.
Byron finished at 2-7 overall last year, and I think that was an independent schedule too.
Okay.
So, yeah. But now they're in our Big Thumb Conference.
But if you're Deckerville and you're looking at the schedule, if you can make it, ideally, you would like to have Solowitz back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But Coleman, Bad Axe, Byron, New Haven, Merritt, I think you'll be okay without Solowitz. It would be really nice to have him back against Dryden. Obviously, Kingston, you'd love to have Solowitz for Kingston. And then Brown City K-Pac, obviously. But I think, obviously Solowitz is such a great player, but I think Deckerville they're going to be okay without him, which sounds like a terrible thing to say. Like
well, Harbor Beach was okay without.
Right. Without Harper.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a situation where you don't want to rush him back. And it's also a situation where you don't necessarily need to rush him back. But we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, as soon as he's healthy, you're going to put him back in the line. I mean, you'd be, Bill Brown's a good coach. He's not a dumb guy. He's obviously going to put Solowitz in as soon as he can.
How many years now coaching?
33. Well, 33 is head coach, I believe. So, but yeah, I think Deckerville's going to be all right. They are going to have a lot of new faces in the starting lineup. But we also saw at the end of last season some of the younger players, obviously Cooper at quarterback, but a kid like Danny Kenny, he was great at the end of the season. He was a sophomore defensive back. I think he had like 15 or 16 tackles in the Morris game. But I mean, it's you have a lot of players to replace for Deckerville.
Yeah.
But they have such a great program there. You know, like we were talking about earlier with Harbor Beach. Harbor Beach graduated almost every single starter, but that's okay because they're gonna be, you know, they've built the program there. Real quick, a couple names to look out for Deckerville in the backfield. Landon Noble should get some touches in the backfield, and Ashton Wedge as well. But again, it's whoever is going to be getting the bulk of the carries in the backfield for Deckerville will have the benefit of a very solid offensive line in front of them.
Moving on to Kingston, they were a very senior-heavy team. They lost a lot of great talent there, so it's going to be curious how they reload as well. They start off the season on Friday at home against Grand Rapids Sacred Heart. Then they got Marlette, so that rivalry is reborn on week 2 for Kingston and Marlette. And then Kingston is at Mayville, home against Byron, home against New Haven Merit Academy, at Deckerville in week 6, and then home against Dryden, at Bad Axe, and at Marion for the Kingston Cardinals. Dryden themselves starts off the season in week 1, hosting Peck Pirates against Brown City, New Haven Merit Academy, Mayville, Deckerville, Byron, Kingston, Burton Bentley, and at North Huron to end the regular season. So again, it's Byron, Deckerville, Dryden, Kingston, Mayville, and New Haven Merit Academy in the Big Thumb Conference Blue Division. If you go to Michigan-football.com, I think he has the divisions mixed up or the team's not in the right spots right now.
Okay.
We're following what the MHSA says, right?
Okay.
Is that what you're basing off, or what you are? How do you have in your records? Home records. So, for Mayville, they start off the season at North Huron, then home against K-Pec, home against Kingston, then at Dryden, then at Byron, home against New Haven Merit Academy, at Deckerville, home against Marlette, and finish at Peck. That is the Big Thumb Blue Division. New Haven Merits, they are in that division too. The Big Thumb Conference Blue Division, according to what this says here. They start off the season in week 1 at Akron Fairgrove, home against Memphis, home against Dryden, home against Deckerville. So 3 straight home games after week 1, and then 2 straight away games at Kingston, at Mayville, home against Byron, K-Pec, and then at Carsonville Port Sanilac for New Haven Merit Academy. So that is that Big Thumb Blue Division.
Really quick with the Blue Division, I think Dryden's going to be a team that is going to be a very tough out this season. They surprised some teams last season with their offensive ability. They returned their starting quarterback, top receiver. Last season, 60 points against Bad Axe, 40 against Brown City, 58 against K-Pec, 55 against Memphis, 60 against Mayville, 6 against Deckerville. 40-38 win over North Huron in week 1. They are going to be a team that is going to score a ton of points. If they figure out how to get some stops, they could be a tough out in the Blue Division. For Kingston, as you mentioned, they graduated a ton of players.
Seniors.
They had a
senior heavy.
They had an incredible senior group. But I would put Kingston in the same category as Deckerville and Harbor Beach, where it doesn't matter who you lose. Well, it does matter a little bit, but they are going to be a team that it's the next man up. There's going to be plenty of new, great players for Kingston this season. And I can't remember if Scott mentioned it on air or off air, but this is the 75th year of football at Kingston. They will be doing a celebration week 2.
Such a beautiful field.
Marlette.
I love that field, man. So,
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back. 2 more divisions and 8-player football to talk. This is Thumb Sportsline and WMIC. We'll be back in about 6 minutes.
Celebrating over 50 years on the air, this is AM 660 WMIC Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Welcome back to the Thumb Sportsline Show on WMIC AM 660 and 95.3 FM. Heard every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. starts. We don't go halfway. We don't go 160. We go all around. This show will go from the fall season through the winter season. People even would like us to go into the spring season. Well, that means I have to be a full-time sports director. And I'm the morning show guy, but I digress. I also do the sports here, so yeah. For fall and winter, high school football and high school girls and boys basketball. And I do believe we're probably going to be bringing in once we get things settled in, we got some people hired in now. And could be some baseball and softball coverage. So keep your ears open for that. Excited about that. All right, we continue on with talk on high school 8-player football. Mike Gallager, my co-host, will be coming in here soon. We did talk about the Big Thumb Conference Blue Division, Byron, Deckerville, Dryden, Kingston, Mayville, and New Haven Merit Academy. We took a look at the newcomer to 8-player football, at least in the immediate Thumb area. It will be one of our game of the nights this week. First of all, our games of the week. This Thursday, it'll be the Morris Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils. That'll be on WBGV 92.5 FM. And also on Friday evening, first high school 8-player football game for the Marlette Red Raiders as they host the Menden Hornets. And the Marlette Red Raiders in the Big Thumb Conference Gold Division, according to the MHSA website, which consists of the Bad Axe Hatchets in their second season of high school 8-player football, along with Brown City, Burton Bentley, K-Pac, Marlette, and Memphis. The big move here for the Marlette Red Raiders, still under their longtime head coach, Denny Lester at Marlette. And what a way to start off your season to know where you're at in high school 8-player football as you transition from 11-player. Week 1 come Friday evening. Come on out because there's a few games on Friday night. As next week and Labor Day weekend, most games will be on Thursday, rightfully so. But the Menden Hornets taking on the Marlette Red Raiders. Marlette Red Raiders have a lot of key pieces coming back here, Mike.
Absolutely. They are set up for success in the first season here in 8-player football. As you mentioned, Denny Lester, great coach, great offensive coach. So right off the bat, you get a little bit excited thinking about Coach Lester running an 8-player offense. But I think the biggest thing for Marlette this season is they have a star that they can build their offense and their defense around in Owen Anderson. He's a senior. It will be his 4th season starting for the Red Raiders. Last season, he kind of started out as a tight end, more so offensively. About halfway through the season, they moved him to the running back position. and he was fantastic. So he is going to be a great option offensively. Defensively, he was an all-thumb first-team linebacker in 11-player football. Again, it'll be his 4th year starting at linebacker. So, right away, you have a player who is going to be a star this season in Owen Anderson. The quarterback position, you obviously graduate Trey Lester, who was fantastic running that offense for Marlette the past couple seasons. Sounds like it's going to be Payne Diegelbeck, the senior, and Denny's pretty excited about him as well, with his running and throwing ability. But for Marlette, it's, things are going to change, but it's still going to be the same type of mindset where they want to run the ball and they want to set up the play action. And they have not only the running back to do that, but they also have the offensive line to do that. I think that was the thing that stood out the most to me in their scrimmage last week against Deckerville. Their offensive line is massive. They have a huge offensive line, which you don't typically see in 8-player football. Even at Deckerville, their offensive line is usually undersized. And for Marlette, it's going to be Brody Friday, the senior. He was injured last season, but he is expected to lead that offensive line. Eli Bell, the junior, he's going to be very important for the offensive line. He's been a starter since his freshman season. But just looking at the roster that Coach Lester sent us, Eli Bell, 6'4", 300 pounds. And it's an athletic 300 pounds. Brody Friday, 6'1", 265. Caden Williams, 5'10", 270. It's Trent Wilkie, 6'2", 270. It's just an incredibly large offensive line. Owen Anderson's he's a pretty big kid himself. I mean, he's
yes, he is.
He's more of a power back,
like a Jerome Bettis,
right?
Type
yeah, so
back.
It's going to be, you think of a team moving from 11-player to 8-player football, and it's, you think of 8-player football, and it's spread it out and just, let your best athlete run all over the field. Well, for Marlette, it's going to be some power running football, and they definitely have the players to do it this year. Defensively, obviously Anderson's going to be leading the way. I'm very excited about Marlette football. Just from what I've seen at that scrimmage, the players they have coming back. It's shaping up to be a very successful first season of 8-player football for Marlette.
Pump the brakes there, buddy.
Okay.
Pump the brakes.
Okay.
Pump the brakes.
Okay.
I'm glad about your optimism. That's great. All right. But you got to play the game first. And look who you have in week 1. The Menden Hornets. They play in the Southern Central Athletic Association Red Division, but Menden Hornets, you could say one of the powerhouses of 8-player football. Last year, they overall finished at 10-1 overall. They won their league there. They lost to Portland St. Patrick, the eventual state champions, in the second round. They had a 4-foot win over Grand Rapids Sacred Heart. And by the way, I do believe that's who Marlette. Menden.
That I remember there was a weird situation with that.
Kingston plays Grand Rapids Sacred Heart. Okay. So Marlette, Menden. Then you got Kingston. Then you got Bad Axe. A lot of returning players from this team. We'll get to them. You're at Brown City. Then you have K-Pac. Burton Bentley, Memphis, and Mayville. And then Byron. You got all your tough teams in the start of the season for the Marley Red Raiders.
Your first 4 weeks are going to be tough, and then things
maybe
really,
first 5. So
yeah. I mean, we can get into K-Pack a little bit more, but it's right off the bat, Mendon and Kingston. That's going to be 2 very tough games. Kingston's going to play them very well. Mendon, we don't know what they have back, or but we know what their program is. But there's nothing that says Marlette couldn't go and win a conference title in their first season. Looking at that schedule, there's definitely enough wins there to make it to the playoffs. I don't know. I know I'll pump the brakes a little bit.
Yep.
They're not the best team in this state. I won't. Okay.
Well, Bad Axe doing their full season of 8-player football last year. A.J. Fritz, he was one of their top leading offensive players, but they had a freshman quarterback, Warschlager, who was a freshman last season. He had about 466 yards passing, over about 50% passing wise. Ran for about 289 yards, had a couple touchdowns in that. So you got a little bit of experience coming back here for Bad Axe. But, they had a lot of seniors rushing wise for Bad Axe. Fritz was the catalyst there. They got a few returning players. Eisinger's coming back. He had about 100 yards rushing wise. So, we hope to see after week 1, we'll talk to Paul Adams about this, how this team looks after week 1 of week 1 play now. Now they're in that league with Marlette.
Yes.
Yes, because these are like the bigger size of the schools here?
Yes, these would be the biggest schools, yeah.
K-Pac, they made some great strides last season, but they might have graduated some players as well. Memphis, kind of like a tough season and they play football, but I did get to see them. They looked pretty good at the end of the season against Carson from Port Sanilac, where I got to finally cover them near the end of the season there. Burton Bentley is a newcomer to this league as well, right? Big Thumb Conference, Gold Division now.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to kind of gloss over that. We're really diving into Bad Axe come next week. Because like I said, we shrug our shoulders. Do you really know? You don't really know. However, we know about some of the teams that we covered, and we appreciate the coaches for always sending these results and all that information. Some of the big info is here. Is Brown City able to replicate that 3 great years of high school player football as they go into this season? They did lose a lot of key pieces here. So,
well, for Brown City, it's life after Lawson Cooper.
Yes,
he was. It seems like he's been there forever.
Yeah.
He was one of the smartest players. A great offensive player. He was perfect for that offense. Obviously ran all over the place. But he was also a really good defensive player. Kind of leading the team from that safety position. But it's not just Lawson, it's Hayden Van Damme,
by the way, real quick, Jackson Walschlager was his name in Bad Axe. Okay, back to Brown City.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the freshman quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got something.
They got something on offense there, at least.
And with Bad Axe, Nick Gibbard, I think he's a great coach.
Yeah.
They started off very, very strong last season. There's some potential there for Bad Axe. But for Brown City, Hayden Van Damme, Jack Gingell, first team offensive lineman, was a senior. Lawson Cooper, Carden Hagee, he was another really great, smart player for the Brown City defense. Jackson Trombley on the defensive line, Robert Neiman, offensive line. I mean, they're losing Lawson Cooper, but they're also kind of, it's going to be a very different looking Brown City team. Now
7-3 last year, 5-2 in league play. Their 2 losses in league play was to Deckerville, K-Pac, and Kingston, I believe. Was it? Yeah. Was K-Pac even in that division? I don't think they were.
They lost to K-Pac in the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Back when K-Pac was unbeatable.
Brown City. So last year, Deckerville and Kingston, those league losses, and those were the back-to-back games. They lost to K-Pac in the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay.
The great thing for Brown City, though, is Kaline Mulholland is back. And he may be one of the fastest running backs, at least in the area, if not the state. He's 2-time All-State
when he was
runner.
needed. When he was needed, he stepped up in some games there.
Well, and it was, it was every time he touched the ball, he could be gone for a touchdown.
Positive yards too.
Yeah, he averaged over 10 yards a carry last season. And that was just because of his big playability. And, so he's going to be back at the running back position. And defensively as well, he was fantastic at the linebacker position. So right off the bat, you have a great offensive weapon. And so you lose a lot, but you have one of the best players in the thumb back. And that's both offensively and defensively. So, first year head coach, Bob Hatton, it's, there's a lot of rebuilding to do, but, right off the bat, you have a guy that you can give the ball to, 20, 25 times a game. The most important thing for Brown City is how do we get the ball in the hands of Kaline Mulholland, and give him opportunities out in space. So they are going to be all right offensively. At the quarterback position, sounds like it's going to be Trevor Varan, the junior. And he, obviously I haven't seen him play yet, but I don't think he's going to be asked to do what Lawson Cooper did. And that's not to say that he's not going to be a great quarterback. I mean, he could. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for the Brown City offense. But for him, your first year as a starter, you are going to have the benefit of, okay, my job is to get Kaline Mulholland the ball. My job is to get Jace Halbert the ball, which Jace Halbert, another great option in the backfield.
Yeah.
So Brown City offensively,
I would say kind of underused, but when you had that many offensive weapons at that point,
yeah.
But he did again when he had to step in.
Yeah,
he would have a big game. So.
Absolutely. So there's some great offensive weapons for Brown City. Aiden Pascal, he should be getting some touches at the running back position as well. So really, when you look at the Brown City offense, the key is going to be the offensive line, where you're going to be replacing, some very good starters along the offensive line. Stephen Davis, a senior, Hunter Stevens, a senior. Those two should be stepping up at the offensive line position. Defensively, Jaden Honaki Bennett was a first-team linebacker and a second-team all-conference tight end. So he will be expected to lead the defense. He is a defenseman for the Thumb Area Legion, so he's a tough kid. And the defense should be all right for Brown City. So right off the bat, Kaline Mulholland, Jace Halbert, Jaden Honaki Bennett, you have three players that you can build your team around this season. It's just going to be figuring things out in the trenches. And again, tough schedule.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, they get Morris.
Yep.
Their two losses were obviously the 1-point loss to Deckerville in the playoffs.
That was a fantastic game to
that
cover
was
last
a
year.
Fantastic game.
Yep.
And
they played in the Mid-State Activities Conference Red Division.
Yes.
Just three teams in that one: Portland, St. Patrick, Fulton, and Morris.
And that was their other loss, Portland, St. Patrick. Yep. They lost to them by a touchdown. And if you remember the Deckerville Morris game last season, their quarterback threw the ball about 70 times. I mean, it was insane.
It was a long game.
It was, to be throwing the ball that much and only score 26 points. No.
Yeah.
But he'll be back, at the quarterback position for Morris. So it's going to be a tough one right out of the gate for Brown City. And we talked about it earlier. Coach Hatton, great coach. He's coached every sport there is. And, he doesn't need me to tell him what to do.
Yeah, Morris played an independent schedule last year, by the way, I think.
Just a little bit of friendly advice for Coach Hatton. Yeah. Just don't overthink it. Just give the ball to Kaline Maholland and let him win the game for you. You have one of the best players in the Thumb, and he's going to be able to score a lot of points for you.
Yeah, Robert Hatton, by the way, the new first-year head coach, who was assisting the Brown City Green Devils last couple years, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
Right up, like you said. By the way, Morris plays another Thumb area team in Week 9. They'll play Bad Axe.
Okay.
So they play Brown City in Week 1, but what a tough game to start for Brown City.
Well, and then Week 2, you got Dryden, which again, they were a sneaky good team last year.
Yep.
Whereas this year, they're just going to be a good team. Like they are going to be very good offensively. And again, defensively, maybe not so much, but Morris, Dryden, right off the bat. Burton Bentley, we don't know anything about them really. And then you got Marlette, which is going to be a huge game. Bad Axe, Memphis, K-Pac, you should probably be the favorite in those games. And then you wrap it up with Deckerville and Bridgman, which Bridgman was a fantastic team last year. And, Deckerville is Deckerville. So it's going to be tough sledding schedule-wise. And Brown City's going to have to beat some of those. They're going to have to Morris, Deckerville, Bridgman, they're going to have to win one or two of those games to make the playoffs. As you know, in 8-player football, it's really tough to make the playoffs nowadays.
Yeah.
Since there's
even with a winning record.
Right. It's there's not as many spots to go around anymore. But the potential's there for Brown City. And, it doesn't sound like Coach Hatton's going to change very much offensively.
Because a lot of these players who are now in their senior years are well adjusted to that type of offense the last 2-3 years here. So.
And Brown City's had a lot of success with that offense. But yeah, I think it's going to be the Kaline Maholland show this year, and I think that's going to lead Brown City to a lot of success.
All right, that's the Brown City Green Devils, and again, they are in the Big Thumb Conference, and this is the Gold Division according to the MHSAA. We will be right back because we still have another 8-player football division to take a look at. Still haven't started Week 1 games, but it starts Thursday into some games on Friday. We'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline on WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM. I'm Eddie Feary. That is Mike Gallager, the Sanilac County News sports reporter. We'll be right back.
Our overnight forecast, a few clouds and lows 56 to 58. Sunny to partly sunny on Wednesday, highs 80 to 82. Some sun Thursday, but a few showers possible on a high of 82 to 84. For the WMIC and WTGV 24-hour weather center, I'm meteorologist John McMurray.
The strength of America, our values, our way of life hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together, extending hands of compassion, service, and hope to those who need it most. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities across our nation by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during times like we're facing today. It's what the Legion's all about. From blood drives to distributing food, from responding to emergencies and protecting the most vulnerable among us. Our mission is making America's communities stronger.
We are one family, and therefore we care.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake.
Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly.
Get on board. Get on board.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on WMIC AM 660 95.3 FM. We have passed the 3-hour mark. Usually happens in week one. I mean, well, not even week one. Preseason start.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants to listen, you can listen to us on Spotify. You don't have to listen to the whole thing.
Yes.
Because that's just tortuous.
Yes.
To have to listen to us for 3 straight hours.
But we appreciate all the listeners out there. I mean, once we started putting it up online and made it in podcast form, we would get complaints. It's not there yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's not there.
Yeah.
I guess this is what I listen to. I break it up in hours on my way to work or during lunch is what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
To hear you insane sports guys. So,
well, and, I've said it on the show before. It's kind of like therapy for us,
Yeah.
It's we would do this if people weren't listening, just because I got to talk to Eddie about football, man.
Centrally focused in high school football, but we will mention important notes of other high school sports with the ladies out there. Shout out to my, now semi-retired intern, Libby the intern, is at Mid-Michigan College right now, preparing for the basketball season.
That's pretty impressive. She went from an intern to retired. I mean, she skipped all the stuff in between.
Semi-retired.
Good for her.
Semi-retired. All right, so we have one more 8-player football team as I went off on a tangent there. We also have another segment here coming up after this to talk about a couple of changes with the MHSAA as well. Our games of the week: Thursday, Morse Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils, and Friday, that's Thursday. On Friday, we have the Mendon Hornets at the Marlette Red Raiders. Both games on WBGV 92.5 FM and streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com. All right, let's get back to our football coverage.
The best part of the night.
Go ahead. This is
Big
with
Thumb Conference Red Division.
Red Division, which consists of. Go ahead.
Oh, I
or you want me to do it? I thought you were going to do it.
No, I'll let you do it.
This is your show. So.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what to do then.
Oh, you're telling me what to do.
No,
now.
here, I got it. I
can bring it up, but it involves Peck, Akron Fairgrove Vikings, the Carsonville Port St. Louis Tigers, Bay City Academy in the first season here, Bay City All Saints, and North Huron Warriors.
Yep.
The newcomer is Bay City Academy. Of course, there were some shifts, different teams going to different divisions this season. Carsonville Port St. Louis is undefeated right now at 1-0 because Caseville had to cancel the season due to the low numbers. They will play a JV schedule. However, some games will be 6-player football. Owen Gage, I know we haven't talked about them, but they are 6-player football as well.
Yeah, we forgot to ask Scott about that because I'm really interested in what that's going to look like.
Is that sanctioned from the MHSAA?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So it's considered now a club sport for them.
Club sport.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. If,
All right, so let's get to it. Our immediate coverage area teams here. We have the Carsonville Port St. Louis Tigers and the Peck Pirates. Carsonville Port St. Louis does have some returning players, returning head coach as well for the Tigers. And that's good to keep that continuity there with your head coach and with some young players that are coming back this season. And the key thing is a lot of these smaller teams, smaller numbers, but trying to stay healthy as much as you can through the season. I mean, there were times where some teams had to forfeit some games in other 8-player leagues due to the numbers, but injuries also. So, how healthy is the Carsonville Port St. Louis Tigers and the Peck Pirates at this point?
Well, what I want to, since we're starting with CPS, as you know, this show is the number one supporter of Carsonville Port St. Louis Tiger football. We love CPS football.
First 8-player football champions in the thumb.
Yes. a little bit disappointing that they won't be playing this week.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice to be 1-0. It snaps a 19-game losing streak within the program. They went 0-9 last season, 0-9 the season before, and kind of some tough games during that time. So yes, it is nice to get that win. And maybe I'm going to sound a little bit biased because they had lost 4 straight games against Caseville. But I really think they were going to get that win regardless this season. I think they were going to beat Caseville week 1, and it would have meant a lot more to the players and to the team to get that win on the field. So a little bit tough in that regard, especially because it's week 1. You practice for the whole summer, and they'll be playing a JV game tomorrow night in Kingston. But all off season, you're working towards week 1.
Yeah.
And all off season, during 5-on-5s, during scrimmages, I would hear from people, CPS is looking pretty good this season.
Yeah, they were 0-9 last year.
Yeah.
But they played every game. They played every game.
Yep.
They put the team out there. They had injury issues. They had some eligibility issues too. But they continued to play every game, every week. And they took on that Bay City All Saints game, remember? All Saints, a decent team last year. But they had some big losses there. But they continued to play. The kids want to play out there. The way they finished the season, they scored it. They lost to New Haven Mayor Academy, a close one there, 30-36. They put up 20 points against Pac and Memphis at the end of the season. They were shut out to Bay City All Saints, but Bay City All Saints had a lot of great players in that team. So, but they did put up some points. So they got some offense there. They did lose some players here. That was key in the offense.
Well,
in the backfield.
the biggest thing for CPS, their 2 best players were seniors last year, and those 2 players were incredibly valuable offensively and defensively in Rosser and Jack Bobo.
Yep.
So you do have to replace their production.
But they have a returning quarterback.
Well, and
Gage Moran.
They leaned on those 2 players last season because they had one of the youngest rosters in the entire state. And so while CPS didn't get a win last season, those 2 seniors were so important to the program, guiding along those younger players. And looking at the roster this season, they only have 3 seniors. It's still a relatively young program. However, the players that got that experience last season are going to be ready to step up into bigger roles this season. And as you mentioned, Gage Moran at quarterback, he's going to be the guy. He was a team captain last year as a sophomore. He'll be the captain again this year, obviously. He understands that offense. He's able to run that offense. Now you are going to have to replace Rosser at the running back position, obviously. And it sounds like it's going to be Owen Poirier, the senior. So that's going to be a pretty big, I don't want to say question mark for CPS, but it's going to be one of the top priorities is figuring out that running back position. And then, so Bobo and Rosser were the 2 leading receivers for CPS as well. So Parker Moran, the sophomore, he'll be stepping up as the team's top receiving option. He was a pretty good player last year as a freshman. So it's unfortunate that this team didn't have the opportunity to break that losing streak on the field, maybe get a little bit of confidence going into week 2 against Bay City All Saints. But it doesn't change the potential of this season. There's a chance that obviously it would have been nice to get that win on the field week 1.
Yeah.
That's not going to be their only opportunity all season to get a win on the field, and they have to stay focused on that fact. They have 22 kids on the roster this season. Again, still a very young roster. I think one of the key players defensively returning is going to be McCoy Nunn. He's a sophomore. He was the team's second leading tackler last year behind Rosser.
Yes.
Rosser led the team in pretty much everything.
Most times any play football, you're going to see players playing both sides of the ball.
Yes. So McCoy Nunn, he was honorable mention all conference last season at the linebacker position. So they are going to be counting on him defensively. And then obviously Poirier at the running back position. And let me see. I know Tayshawn Murray, another senior. They'll be counting on him to anchor the offensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see not only the young players that gained that experience last season. It's going to be fun to watch them progress this season. But it's also going to be similar to last season where you're going to see freshmen out there that are trying to make a name for themselves. Nick Fagan is going to be another player to look out for. It's I know we're always optimistic about the CPS football program.
Yeah.
I love CPS football. I love that they've been sticking with it the past couple seasons. It was great when we talked to Coach Beamish last season on the show. I think this is the season that they finally are able to turn the corner.
Get some wins, right?
Get some wins. And, another reason it's unfortunate they didn't play this week is, okay, now you got Bay City All Saints week 2.
The 1-2
so
punch,
that's going to be tough.
Yeah. Bay City All Saints lost 2 of the big top players, Bo Williams and Wetters.
Yeah.
But All Saints has 10 returning seniors.
Really?
This season, yes.
Okay. So
that's week 2, for CPS Tigers. They have Morenci on the schedule.
Yeah, so the week 1 game against Caseville was non-conference.
Yeah.
They were scheduled to play Caseville again week 3 in a conference game. So Morenci, they just picked that game up so we don't really know anything about Morenci.
That's going to be a road game. The All Saints game next week will be a home game for CPS, away game at Morenci, 2 straight home games against Bay City Academy and North Huron, then on the road at Akron Fairgrove, a Saturday game at Flint Cultural Center Academy, and the last 2 games of the season they have at Peck and then home against New Haven Merit Academy.
So tough, a couple of really tough games at the beginning there with Bay City All Saints, North Huron. Again, Morenci, the question mark. Bay City Academy, that's a game CPS should win. And that's, no disrespect to my former head coach, Rob McDaniel.
Yeah.
But that's a new program.
Yep.
And CPS, that's your game to win. From there, Akron Fairgrove, that's a game you could win. Flint Cultural Center is a new football program as well.
Okay.
Haven't been able to find anything about them. Don't really know anything about them. They are a new program. They were co-oping with, I think, Flint Powers last year, and they are kind of helping fill out schedules for the Big Thumb Conference teams. And it sounds like they may be joining the Big Thumb Conference in the future. because they play Burton Bentley, North Huron, Peck, CPS, Caseville, and Akron Fairgrove. So don't know much about them, but that could be a win for CPS.
You mentioned Akron Fairgrove. They do have a few returning seniors, and they do have some key newcomers too, but they have some returning seniors, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 players returning for the Akron Fairgrove Vikings. They were 3-3 overall. 3-6 overall, 3-3 in league play. So,
okay.
David Johnson in his third year, 6-12 overall. So, we saw some bright spots from Akron Fairgrove, talking to Scotty and Bolsby about this. But, yeah, again, when you have key returners, that many seniors returning or players returning, that does help your, experience on the field. Once you were talking about how CPS, you lost those key seniors here. So
right.
Akron Fairgrove, All Saints, again, returning players is a key in this league. All right. We went there, and now we want to go to who else is in the league? North Huron, 5-3 overall last year, 5-1 in league play. As Bay City All Saints last year is in that red division. They were red division champions. North Huron.
That fact about All Saints, you said they have 10 seniors returning. That
yeah.
They graduate Bo Williams and Jack Wetters, and you kind of think, okay, finally.
But how did they score all those points? You had those seniors protecting you, to make it possible there. And we saw some other bright spots below that from other players too.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
In the game against Ackermo. So,
yeah.
All right, North Huron, they're usually a pretty good average team out there, or above average team, you could say, especially when it comes to this division. So they're always a team you just cannot look past, 5-3 overall record.
They are always a very well-coached team with Chad Knobloch. They're always a very physical team.
He seems like the Robert Hatton of North Huron there.
Yes. He's also,
girls basketball coach, track, what else?
Yeah. They always have a decent amount of size.
Yeah.
I've seen them play a couple times over the past few seasons, and they're one of the teams that get off the bus and you're like, that's kind of surprising. They got some big players. So for North Huron, it's over the off season, obviously, there was the tragic story of Dominic Stonecipher.
Yeah.
He passed away in an e-bike accident, which is absolutely tragic. Anytime you see a young life cut short like that, he was also one of North Huron's best players last season as a freshman.
Yeah.
He was a first team all conference running back and defensive back, led the team in rushing, led the team in tackle. I mean, it was just, his football career trajectory was off the charts. I mean, he was a potential all-thumb player of the year. So obviously our hearts go out to North Huron, the community, and the football program.
Yeah, as a freshman, he had 13 touchdowns last season and 947 yards carry.
So it's I imagine it's been a pretty emotional offseason for the program.
But this program has returning a lot of talented players. Shapinski, a junior, he was at quarterback. Didn't pass much, 242 yards, but he had 4 touchdown passes. He's a senior this year. You also have a junior. Second leading rusher was Deakins, a junior. He returns to the North Huron Warriors. We believe that's Eli. Or is it Ellie? Eli? Yeah. Deakins. Shapinski, the junior. He rushed, the quarterback rushed for 562 yards, who is senior too. Horetsky, a freshman, also got some touches. That's going to increase as you return. They're pretty heavy returners here, so they're going to be okay.
They're a consistently good to great 8-player program in the Thumb, and I expect the same this season.
They're going to be meddling. They'll be meddling here.
Be meddling, yes.
So
they'll be meddling in our Big Thumb Conference Red Division standings.
I see them going towards maybe, challenging for the Red Division title.
Well, and looking at their schedule, the obviously you have your conference games, but you open with Mayville, which Mayville is it. We didn't really get into it too much. It's tough that they're struggling with numbers because I think Mike Campbell's such a great coach, and he's done great things with that program. But if you're North Huron, that's good. That's great for North Huron. That's a non-conference game you could win. Flint Cultural Center is a game you could win. Hale, I don't think even played last season. And then you wrap up with Dryden. So it's for North Huron. There's a opportunity for a decent amount of wins this season.
Like you said, they got Mayville. They're at Pack, then home against All Saints, Flint Cultural Academy, at CPS, at Hale, Akron Fairgrove Bay City Academy, and home against Dryden to end the season. The Peck Pirates.
There we go. I've been sitting here for 3 hours waiting for you to ask me about the Peck Pirates, man.
Big Thumb Conference Red Division. They're under a new head coach?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's Keegan Silverthorne. He's been an assistant with the program for the past couple years under Andrew Morrison. He's a Croslex grad, I believe class of 2017 maybe. So he's a young guy. And I know I'm getting older, Eddie, because the coaches that are getting hired now are younger than me. Which is a weird feeling, but I'm really excited about Coach Silverthorne and what he is going to do with this program. I think he's the right man for the job. Obviously, it was tough with Morrison leaving because he had a lot of success with Peck over the past couple seasons. You can't fault him whatsoever for taking the Kingston AD job.
Yep.
Because that's a great job at a great school.
Peck finished in third place in league division, Big Thumb Conference Red Division at 4-2, 5-4 overall. They ended the season against that red hot K-Pac team, 58-22. So their wins came with 3 straight wins over Mayville, New Haven Merit Academy last year, and Caseville. Lost to Bay City All Saints. They were a good team last year. The win over Akron Fairgrove, and then the losses to North Huron Cedarville that we had covered last year, and had to win over Carson Port Sanilac 59-20, but ended the season against that red hot K-Pac team 58-20.
Yeah.
So, new season. Who do we got player wise?
New season. So they are a team that is going to look different from last season. We talk about Croslex going from the Jax Johnson, Shane Slanik, high flying passing game to more of a power run game. Last season, obviously they had Thomas West at wide receiver, who broke all kinds of school records.
One of the tallest receivers out there.
One of the best, probably, I don't want to say the best receiver because that's, but one of the best receivers that's played for Peck. But then you also had Jan Pullman, who was just as tall as Thomas West. And Aiden Alfaro was a great third option in the passing game. All 3 of those guys are gone. So you're not really going to see as much passing from Peck as you did last season. The returners that Coach Silverthorne has, though, are just fantastic for a first-year head coach. And, it's a situation where, things are going to be different. And, he's a first-year head coach, but he has a great senior group to lean on. First, I'm going to start off with Grady Welsh at the quarterback position. That last season, obviously, throw the ball up to Thomas West. So his role is going to be a little bit different. But he's such a great leader. He's going to be leading the offense and the defense. What his role is, On the offense is, remains to be seen. We're going to have to wait and see on that. But type of kid that you want to have as a senior leader. Cam Watson at the running back position. He has rushed for over 1,000 yards the past 2 seasons. One of the team's top linebackers. That's going to be their offense this season. Get the ball to Cam Watson as much as you can. And he has the ability to carry the ball 25 to 30 times a game, which they might need him to do sometimes. And then Lane Warner, he's going to be a 4th-year starter on the defense for Peck. He's been an all-conference linebacker all 3 seasons during his time at Peck. He's going to be in for a huge season. So, not a ton of players on the roster for Peck. The players that they do have are very talented, and to have those guys playing both ways, they're Silverthorne's going to be all right. He's got some good seniors that he can lean on in this first season. Now, all night we've been talking about schedules.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, hey, welcome to Peck, Coach Silverthorne. Congrats on taking over as head coach of the program. You're going to play Dryden week 1
on the road.
Which is it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, that's this Thursday.
You're going to have to try and go up against one of the top offenses from last season. Week 2, a lot
of returning players for this team, North Huron Warriors.
Yeah.
We just talked about them. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you go play North Huron? Peck hasn't beaten North Huron, and I don't think I've covered a Peck team there.
And week 3 storylines here. Rob McDaniel, former Peck coach, who's at Bay City Academy.
Yeah. So, right off the bat, that's tough. Dryden, North Huron, things get substantially easier after that. Bay City Academy, Akron Fairgrove. It sounds like the game that they have with Caseville, they're just going to take the forfeit on that one.
Okay. Their forfeit win. Okay.
Well, yeah. No, they're going to take a forfeit loss,
okay.
actually. I thought it was a weird decision, but
okay.
And then you got Flint Cultural, Bay City All Saints, CPS Mayville.
Okay.
So I'm expecting first season for Coach Silverthorne.
Yeah.
6-7 wins. I think it's definitely possible. It's unfortunate, right off the bat, the winner of the Peck North Huron game, or I should say the loser of the Peck North Huron game, is essentially eliminated from the conference championship conversation, because, I think that goes through all Saints as it has for the past few seasons. But, it's even if you start 0-2, I think there's potential for a really good season for the Pirates.
You're right. This was going to be a long show. You were right.
Yeah.
Preseason usually is, or before we start our games there. Always want to touch on every single team here. That's what we do here on Thumb Sportsline. Just want to touch on some other teams here, not only in our immediate coverage area, but the other teams that just don't get that coverage. We are going to talk about them. And just like the last couple of years since me and you have been doing this show, that's our whole goal, is to try. And that's why we have the TSA involved here. So, yeah. All right, but after week 1 or even week 2, you get to see maybe things start to float to top here and figure things out, you know, what these teams are all about. But, yeah.
Well, I will say, I know, I'm from Peck, obviously.
Yeah, disclosure purposes.
I know it's a very forgiving community. If Coach Silverthorne starts 0-2, just cut him a little slack. It's a tough way to start the season, Dryden North Huron. Now, if he starts 2-0,
yeah,
Maybe you start building the statue for him.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, where's mine?
Well.
By the way, reigning champions of 2025 in Division 1, it was Detroit Catholic Central. Division 2, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Division 3, 11-player football, DeWitt. Where's it, DeWitt? Division 4, Divine Child. Division 5 was Grand Rapids West Catholic. Division 6, Jackson Lumen Christi. Division 7, Menominee. And Division 8, Harbor Beach Pirates.
There you go.
8-player football, it was Martin. 8-player football, Division 2, Portland St. Patrick. Both those teams had to go through thumb area teams to get to that point, by the way, for their state championships. Your reigning champions of 2025. Who will it be in 2026? Hey, we got about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 weeks to wait here, right? So, all right, we'll be right back. Our final notes here on Thumb Sportsline.
We're picking conference champions.
We are?
Yep.
Okay.
Celebrating over 50 years on the air, this is AM 660 WMIC Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
Before I was adopted, I felt alone.
After spending years in foster care, Lexi worried that she and her brother were too old to be adopted. Thankfully, the siblings were adopted, with help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
I love teenagers. To see how brave Lexi was and how she opened herself up to being in a family, all of a sudden, she's holding my hand and calling me Mom. It was really special.
Every child, no matter their age, deserves to grow up in a safe, permanent home.
Children at every age experience challenges. Teenagers are more complex than young children, but in the best ways.
You're never too old for family. Learn how you can help children still waiting to be adopted from foster care at davethomasfoundation.org.
Welcome back to the Thumb Sportsline Show, a production of Thumb Targeter Sports, the sights and sound of Fury Productions, with my co-host Mike Gallager of the Sanilac County News. Pick up his publication online or on the newsstands of the Sanilac County News tomorrow, Wednesday, early morning, and all our Thumb Sports Writers Association members, the Tuscola County Advertiser, the Huron County View, the Huron Daily Tribune. Also, other contributors, our athletic director, Christian Selleck of the TSA, who works at Millington High School, by the way. Chris Wilcox at Carroll High School, who does the announcing there, I believe, right? Is he coaching now, too? Chris Wilcox? No?
I don't know.
Also, Clark Ramsey at WWW Sports. They got a big Week 1 matchup, probably the prime time game there, at least in the immediate Thumb area, as well as our 8-player football games.
Yeah.
Got some great ones there.
Where is WLEW this week?
I do believe they're going to be doing that, but Cass City Harbor Beach game, is it?
Oh, of
Week
course,
1?
yeah.
You would have to.
Yeah.
Here on Daily Tribune, Tom Green, a shout to you. Jason Parmenter of Quadden Productions there. Check out Varsity Monthly when that comes out. Fantastic picture taking and also great coverage because he keeps tracks and gives us scores and all that, and his team of photographers. Who else? Ben Miller of Miller Times Sports. You'll see him on the sidelines out there. He is working out probably at Taylor Hutchinson Fitness right now.
Yep.
So
he's working hard.
Or stealing their Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. And all our other outside contributors not with the TSA, like the Tri-City Times, the Port Huron Times Herald, your other View newspaper groups out there.
Yep.
They're doing a fantastic job.
For us.
So,
yep.
Should have checked them all out. Paul Adams of the Huron County View as well. So, yeah. All right. Tigers lose 4-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays. That was on WTGV 97.7 FM. And our game of the week, this week, it is Thursday, the Morris Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils. And then on Friday evening, it's the Mendon Hornets at the Marlette Red Raiders. Next week in week 2, we have the Macomb Lutheran North at Croswell Lexington Pioneers. All right. Some important dates. Week 1 games, of course. The playoff brackets will be announced on October 25th. District semifinals, October 30th, 31st to end the month of October. District finals, November 6th through the 7th, and regional finals at 11-player is November 13th to the 14th, and then state semifinals and 8-player football. State semifinals, 11-player football, and state finals and 8-player football is at the Superior Dome, and Ford Field hosting the state finals at 11-player football Thanksgiving weekend. The MHSA is making a slight change to the way the playoffs are seeded this fall. Instead of being grouped into 4-team districts for seeding purposes, teams will be seeded by regional as well. Games are kicking off from stadiums around the state, and while fans will be packing the stands at their local high school fields as well, not everyone will be able to get out to every game. Fortunately, we have the radio broadcasters out there like myself where we stream online, and also a wide selection of games can be seen via the NFHS, which I have. Great way to scout games and take a look at the games through the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the National Federation of State High School Associations. Fans can sign up for an annual pass to stream any game. Sign up for that. It's well worth it because I have it throughout the season to watch a lot of games on basketball, hockey, everything on there. So it's a great site. Monthly packages are available as well. So check that out. All right. Now, we look at the week 1 list of games here. For 11-player football, Croswell Lexington is at Petoskey, Alma at Marysville. We have Gaylord at North Branch, St. Clair Shores Lakeview at Armada, Yale at Swartz Creek, Emily City is Flint Powers Catholic. We have Marine City at Richmond, Macomb Lutheran North, who's in the Blue Water Area Conference, is at Madison Heights Madison. That is your Blue Water Area Conference games. Big Thumb Conference, two different divisions. There's 3 divisions in 8-player football. We have Sandusky at Unionville Seaboy, Bridgeport at Carroll, Harbor Beach at Cass City, Ilkton Pigeon Bayport Lakers at Lake Odessa Lakewood. We have Detroit Communication Media Arts at Millington. We have Reese at Hearts, Ubley at Clarkston Everest Collegiate, and Carleton at Vassar. In 8-player football, week 1 games, Coleman at Deckerville, Grand Rapids Sacred Heart at Kingston, Mayville at North Huron, Peck at Dryden, New Haven Merit Academy at Akron Fairgrove, Mesick at Byron, Mendon at Marlette, that is our game of the night. Morris at Brown City, that's our game of the night on Thursday. Marlette's on Friday. Breckenridge at Bad Axe, Potterville at K-Peck, Memphis at Southfield Christian, Flint Cultural Academy at Burton Bentley, Hale at Bay City All Saints, Bay City Academy at All Gray Sims, and the Caseville at Carsonville Port St. Lucie game. That's a forfeit win for the Carsonville Port St. Lucie Tigers. A lot of games. And there are a lot of individual non-conference games and some cross-conference games as well. That's your week 1 schedule. A lot of games there we're going to be talking about next week. I predicted that this would end at 8:30. You said 9:30. You were right. So
yeah,
yeah. All right.
Sorry about that.
What do you want to do now? Because we might as well go right to the 9:30 a.m. hour. I want to say that the Jesse Kelly Show will not be played. We'll be playing country music up to our Caravan to Midnight show.
So usually we wrap up the show by doing our weekly picks.
Okay.
Which we will be doing. We'll start that next week.
Okay.
I am hoping to get Ben Miller back in here again to do the picks. I think that was a lot of fun last year. This first week, though,
I won last year, by the way. So.
Well,
we could probably submit our picks, via email to each other. We'll do that. So something like that. Maybe. All right. Go ahead. So what do you want to know?
For this first week,
yeah,
I don't think it would be fair to pick the games.
Okay. Yep. All
because I would pick all of the Sanilac County teams, which I usually do anyway, but I think it would be more appropriate for the preseason show to pick our conference champions in the 6 divisions.
That's shameful.
It's going to be tough because, again, every team we talked about tonight, it was, they're going to be good. They got so many players back. They got, so it's going to be tough, Eddie.
Yeah.
But I think we can do it.
Okay. So
there's going to be some tough picks here. But I am going to start with the BWAC. And I am going to make you go first. because I want to make you pick first because I want to.
Oh, the BWAC?
Yes. Obviously, last year's champion was Almont.
Yeah.
Almont has won the conference the past 3 seasons, going undefeated all 3 seasons. You have Richmond that finished second last year. You have Armada, Croslex, maybe Yale's in the conversation this year. Where do you want to go, Eddie?
Well, I'm leaning towards Almont. They do have a couple key pieces returning. They do reload, reset here. They tend to bring in some of these younger players when they can. When some games are in hand here, they get touches. I really liked last year's player Brody Cornell. There wasn't really a running back that had over 1,000 yards rushing. Cornell was a junior. He's a senior this year. He had 809 yards and 9 touchdowns. Stewart was, your second leading rusher. He had 8 touchdowns. So they really spread the ball out really well there. They did lose 3 senior running backs, but they do have some returning players, especially their quarterback. Only threw for 231 yards. He was a junior last year. That's Blake Lane, quarterback. So they're going to lean on him too as well. They tend to have a pretty good special teams. It's always good to have, as well as Richmond has won games with some special teams. You see a lot of teams going for 2-point conversions a lot. These teams here in the BWAC tend to utilize your kickers here. There'll be a field goal or those extra points. You know how I love special teams. I'm going to lean towards Almont, but I see Richmond right there with them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the coward's way out as well and just go with Almont because until somebody beats them, they're the kings of the conference. Like you said, they do have a lot of returning starters. Blake Lane's going to be one of the big ones. But with Almont, they have a lot of different options offensively. Like you mentioned, they didn't have 1,000-yard rusher last season.
Yeah. But they spread the ball very well.
Right. So I think Richmond, I think offensively they can compete with Almont. I think their defense might take a step back this season. And that's just because they had so many talented seniors last year. And then you can't count out Armada. Obviously Jackson Malberg, the offensive MVP for the BWAC, he is gone to graduation. However, Armada has built a great running game offensively with Kyle Rowley. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Almont because it's the easy way out. The real question is, do they go undefeated again? Which, probably, maybe. But, hopefully it's a little bit of a more exciting race in the BWAC. I don't know. We could see Croslex potentially emerge. I think with Croslex, we're not going to know until we know, because it's going to be so different this season. And, maybe they are a conference championship team. But there's too many things that we don't know yet about Croslex. Yale, same thing. Maybe they take that big step this year. We won't know until the season starts.
Almont Raiders been BWAC champs since 2023.
Yeah.
So
and it's, again, they going undefeated in the BWAC is crazy enough.
Yeah.
But there's been some really good teams these past couple years. So, All right. So we both got Almont in the BWAC. The next one up is going to be the Big Thumb Conference White Division, and I'll let you take the lead. How about that? No, I'll take the lead on this one.
Okay. All right.
So for the Big Thumb Conference White Division, I think last year was awesome.
Yeah. Three-way tie.
Three-way tie for conference. that was amazing. Those three teams probably. I guess I don't know if
it could happen again.
It could happen. It definitely could happen
again. Yeah.
It definitely could happen again. To
me, it comes down to the Millington, Lakers, and Cass City teams.
Right.
Again,
the three conference champions. Yeah.
But who are you leaning towards?
I lean towards Millington.
Me too.
Just because of the tradition there. And the success that they've had, which again, it's the easy choice. It's like going with Almont. It's anybody can pick Almont. Same thing with Millington. It's not a bold statement to say that Millington can win a conference title, but I just think, and Cass City is a program they're going to reload. They're going to be good again.
They only have about 19 kids.
Right.
And they might bring a couple up from JV.
And they were very senior heavy last year.
Yeah. They got some, their quarterback key returner is Preston Dorland. So.
Right. And their style of play allows them to be in any game. They're a physical team.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to beat you up. They're going to run the clock. They're going to control possession. So, obviously you can't count out Cass City. Lakers, like Scott said, they on paper, they probably have the best team in the white division.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Levasseur returning at quarterback is going to be, that's massive. And then Lucas Wayner was one of the best players in the Thumb last year, offensively and defensively. So you can't go wrong picking Lakers either. But for me, it's Millington. It's the tradition there. It's I'm kind of excited about the DeLong kid taking over as quarterback because he's been a big play athlete in the past for Millington at the receiver position, at the kick return or punt return defensively. So I think he's going to have a good season at quarterback. But I'm rooting for a
three-way tie again.
I'm actually rooting for a four-way tie.
Oh my goodness!
I think Sandusky could sneak in there this time. No,
right.
I don't know that. We'll see. It was pretty crazy to see a three-way conference championship.
Who's more the dark horse, Carroll or Sandusky?
That's the more we talked about Carroll, the more excited I got about them because
but, at the same time, third season in
mm-hmm.
For some of these players for Sandusky in this offense now.
Well, the thing is, the Sandusky offense, I think, is going to allow them to be able to compete with anybody on their schedule.
Right.
Yes, they do have a very tough schedule, but I think their offense is going to be able to keep them in games, even if it has to turn into a shootout, which obviously you'd rather not have, but.
Slight edge, I'll lean towards Lakers because on paper.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah.
But,
on paper. I mean, having Levasseur back at quarterback is huge because he's just a great player, great athlete. And
if they can execute,
Yep.
All
right. So you've got Lakers.
My slight edge, but don't be surprised if there is a two-way tie or something like that.
Right.
So,
we're picking Lakers and Millington, but we're secretly rooting for another three-way tie.
Yes.
Now, this one's a tough one, Eddie.
Yeah.
This one's going to separate the boys from the men. The Big Thumb Conference Black Division.
Man.
Because, you could just say it's Harbor Beach, and that'd be fine because it very well could be because they're just going to reload.
But I remember,
but it's not as easy as it's been in the past.
I remember a year where Harbor Beach was on top of the world, and then the next year,
right?
I'm going to lean towards Harbor Beach.
You're going to go with Harbor Beach.
I'll lean towards them.
Now, what I'd like to do,
is
pick Vassar.
Okay.
That's what I'd like to do. I didn't say I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because again, Scott starts talking about his teams, and
makes you excited.
Yeah, it makes you excited.
Yeah.
Well, Maddox Gorleski at quarterback, going to Grand Valley. All of his leading receivers are back. They've got a good coach in place there. I just don't think I'm ready yet. But then you think of USA. Well, USA was pretty good last year, but they lost a lot. Are they going to be able to reload? Ubley, maybe. Reese, maybe. I don't know. Scott was pretty high on Reese as well.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'll go Harbor Beach.
Okay.
I know it's lame. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It's it's hard to pick against Harbor Beach. All right. So up next, we have the Big Thumb Conference Gold Division.
Okay, the Gold Division is consisting
Byron, Deckerville, Dryden, Kingston. No,
that's the Big
wrong.
Thumb Blue Division.
Yeah.
Yep. So which one are you looking at? The blue, gold, or red? What do you want to start with?
I want to start with the gold.
Okay.
I want to start with the big one.
Okay, so that's Brown City, right? Yeah, 8-player football.
So the gold division is Marlette, Bad Axe, Memphis, Burton Bentley, Brown City, K-Pac.
Okay. Well, I'm going to lean towards Brown City and Marlette. But, Brown City, you mentioned those players there. Got a lot coming back here. 8-player football, more experience in this 8-player football.
Yep.
Marlette's going to get their feet wet. But I'll lean towards Brown City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eddie going with the Green Devils. You told me to pump the brakes earlier.
Yeah.
I tried. I really did, Eddie. But Marlette's going to win a conference championship this season.
And that's not a bad choice.
Right. And
because my second will be, right there with Marlette.
I think
possibly in the first year of high school 8-player football. So.
And this is no disrespect to the other teams in the gold division, but I think the only two teams in the conversation are Marlette and Brown City. It's going to come down to that game, the pink out game. Whoever wins that game is going to win the conference. K-Pac was awesome last season.
Yeah.
K-Pac graduated everybody. Sam Schneider, Busson, pretty much every single player that had anything to do with that run at the end of the season has graduated. They also have a new head coach in place. Bad Axe, you could make a push for Bad Axe. But I'm going to go with Marlette, and but I won't argue with you about Brown City either, because I think they absolutely have a shot as well. Okay. But just so we have something different, I'm going to go with Marlette, which brings us to the Blue Division, which is Kingston, Mayville, Dryden, Deckerville, Byron, and New Haven Merritt. Last season, we had co-champions in the Blue Division with Kingston and Deckerville. So Kingston and Deckerville both graduated incredible amounts of senior talent. So it will, but it's not going to be rebuilding years for Kingston and Deckerville. I think they're, regardless of who they graduated, they're both going to be in the conversation. Dryden as well. I mean, Dryden's the wild card in this whole thing. Eddie.
Yeah.
I mean, their offense is so good. I mean, their quarterback is amazing. His top receiver's back. Pretty much all of their players are back. I think they graduated one senior.
Okay.
So, you could go with Dryden as
Even
well.
those players back from last year, they did lose to Deckerville in week 2, 62-6.
They did, yes.
Lost to K-Pac 58-72, high offense.
Right.
High offense against Brown City, but they lost 75-40.
Yeah.
Lost to Kingston 38-78.
Right. So you for Dryden, you'd have to take a big step defensively.
Yes.
Because in a game like a Deckerville game where, if Deckerville can control the clock and not turn the ball over, like that game can get out of hand pretty quickly like it did last season.
So I'm going with Deckerville.
Okay.
But you do like how Dryden is sniffing there, right?
Yes.
And do you have Kingston there at second or third?
I have Deckerville as the champion. I think they have graduated a lot of talent. They do have some key pieces coming back, especially on the offensive line, which for Deckerville, it's run the ball. When in doubt, run the ball. And after that, run the ball a little bit more, which they are going to be able to do this season. I think Kingston's in the conversation. I think Kingston, I still have Kingston ahead of Dryden. I'm just a little bit intrigued by Dryden, because when you see the points they put up last year and the offensive numbers they put up, it's kind of exciting. But I think Kingston reloads. I don't know who is going to be leading Kingston this year because it's new quarterback, new running back, new receiver, just new players everywhere. But I do think Kingston is still the second best team, and I do think they are in the title conversation. So
okay,
so that's the Blue Division, and we are going to wrap it up with the Big Thumb Conference Red Division, which is North Huron, Bay City All Saints, CPS, Peck, Akron Fairgrove, and Bay City Academy.
All right. All Saints, 10 returning seniors.
They
lost their 2 top offensive players, though.
Yeah.
But I can see North Huron trying to challenge this year. Man, I mean, 1 league loss, but it was a big loss to All Saints last year for North Huron. Just how much did All Saints lose, other than they have that protection there, they have the experience there? I'm going to have to lean a little bit towards All Saints, I see North Huron right there, right below them, because of, I'm kind of looking at that roster. They got a lot of key returners offensively.
I don't want to sound dramatic.
Yeah.
You kind of ruined my night when you said that All Saints has 10 seniors returning.
Don't look into that fully, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, 10 that's, 10 seniors is a huge number for an 8-player football team, especially a team that isn't co-oping with Bay City Academy anymore, which, I don't know what type of talent they were getting from Bay City Academy or whatever, but, heading into the season, I was kind of ready for All Saints to be, not as good.
Yeah.
We've talked about All Saints and, some of the things they did last season to some of the local teams and some of the play style of All Saints. I'm trying to tread lightly here, but let's just say I was excited for All Saints to maybe not be 78 points better than some of the teams in the Red Division.
Deckerville, they had some size on them too. All Saints had some size,
They almost beat Deckerville week 1, and then they almost beat Kingston in the first round of the playoffs. So, and I respect the way they've dominated the Red Division. I don't necessarily respect some of the things they've done during that time. So I was really ready for North Huron or a Peck to be able to step up and win the Red Division this year. Unfortunately, I think it's still All Saints, but I think North Huron and Peck belong in the conversation. And after the week 2 matchup between Peck and North Huron, we will know whoever loses that matchup is out of the conversation because All Saints, you have to win all of your conference games and then also beat All Saints. You can't have a second loss in the Red Division if you want to win. So after week 2, we'll know who is in the conversation with All Saints. And for now, give me the Cougars to win the Red Division.
Same here. I mean,
okay.
I think you're right there. So there we go. Are we done?
I don't know.
We're done, I think. We just put people to sleep an hour ago, dude.
Well, and, I thought it would be fun to pick the conference champions, but we didn't really break any ground there either. We kind of just picked the...
we picked them.
Yeah, I know, but, we just picked the... we didn't do anything crazy, I don't think.
So.
But,
all right.
All right.
There you go. All right, so get ready for week 1, Thursday and Friday. Our games of the week. It is the Morris Orioles at the Brown City Green Devils, 6:30 p.m. pregame, kickoff at 7 p.m. on WBGV 92.5 FM. Then Friday evening, 6:30 p.m., it is the Mendon Hornets at the Marlette Red Raiders in their first 8-player football game on 92.5. Streaming online at sanilacbroadcasting.com. Well, our long show here, usually the first week is usually a long one. This is week 0 for us.
Yeah.
So we had a lot to talk about. So new teams coming in.
Yep.
A couple of rule changes and all that. And a shout out to Scott Bolsby to give us his insight too. So,
yep.
All right. Where are you at this week?
I will be in Marlette on Friday.
Okay.
Although I'm tempted to go up to USA because I really want to see Sandusky because I do think the offense is going to be pretty impressive for Sandusky this season. Thursday, not sure yet. Probably Brown City. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
You'll find out next Wednesday when you read the. No, I guess you'll find out on Tuesday when we do the show. But
we catch you next Tuesday for Sportsline after Week 1 games. Check our website by tomorrow afternoon. I'll have the full list of games and things set up there on our website in the sports section at sanilacbroadcasting.com. For Mike Gallager, the Sanilac County News, a sports writer, pick up their edition of the Sanilac County News tomorrow or just after midnight as well, online edition.
Stay up late and
you might as well. You're about 2 hours and 15 minutes away from midnight.
We almost took you to midnight. You might as well.
Check out the Sanilac County News and all our publications from the Thumb Sports Writers Association. Check out that Thumb Sports Writers Association Facebook page and follow our other radio counterparts with their live coverage of high school football. Thank you for tuning in to Thumb Sports Line. It was a long one, but we wrapped it up. A proper preview, somewhat, you could say, in our not so educated insight. So
good luck to all the football teams in the Thumb, but especially the ones in Sanilac County,
and to all the fall sports.
That too, yes,
too as well.
Yep.
So
yep.
Thank you for tuning in to Thumb Sports Line. Thank you, Mike Gallager.
Thank you, Eddie.